Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting partly inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. I'm the David, I'm the Dungeon Master,
David.
and I'm joined by the April, the Kindwin, the Doug, and the Zindy, who are my players. So, last week, after a well-earned rest, our heroes... two of our heroes took part in a tournament of champions in the Arena of the People at the Heart of Providence. It was a chance for all former champions of the arena to, recontest. It was a rematch, and to see which was the true champion and who would wear the belt of the champion.
All-Stars match.
It was an epic brawl which ended with an NPC claiming the belt. No one, the half-orc barbarian, who has been, I believe, in every single contest in this arena that we've had so far in this campaign. So, well-deserved, I'd say.
I guess.
And yes, Vitericus no longer has the belt.
I beat him one-on-one once. That's all I need.
And so, our session ended with that victory, and now the crowd has roared. No one has celebrated. Clerics and have come out. The incapacitating mist has been dispersed. Clerics have come out and have. Everybody was stable, but they have now been healed up so that they are conscious again. Rexlin is learning about everything that happened after he was the first to fall, and is rather unhappy, but he has gone over to Paradise, the Eladrin, and they seem to be catching up on old times. Dagmar and Vitericus, you have been woken up in the arena. Morzod is up in the box, and Orsi is up in the stalls, and some of you spotted Orsi in the crowd, and it's the first time you've seen him in a little while because he has been away. So, what happens?
Dagmar is going to offer Vitericus a fist bump.
I will reciprocate. All right, well, fun while it lasted.
That was humiliating. Let's get a drink and.
I mean, top four's not bad.
Yeah. Look, we didn't die first. To be honest, I'm impressed that we lasted that long against a bunch of fucking lunatics.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look,
no one
I've
deserves
decided
to.
I hate monks. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Holy shit.
I'm going to assume that Dagmar, having been back before Orsi, has already told Vitericus and Morzi about her dwarf adventure.
Well, we can actually have Dagmar recount that if you want. Especially if Kindwin, I believe you wanted to have Dagmar do something after what happened during Doug's one-shot.
She did have a brief jaunt to her parents' place after that adventure before she came home.
Cool. I'm happy to play that out if you need to maybe fill in Orsi on the details.
Yeah, she can describe it, or we can do it. It's very brief.
Well,
but yeah, let's
We're doing one of those awkward corridor dances. Going left, going right. We're both going left. We're both going right. I was just going to say that Morzod is still in full sportscaster mode until somebody comes to collect him.
Excellent. He's just narrating to the stands.
He's having a good time, and some serious shit just went down.
Today's fight brought to you by Raid Shadow. No.
Yes, let's get sponsorships.
Dags and Video are going to get changed and grab a beer and find the others, I think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What's Dagmar's outfit for, like, casual winter?
Casual winter, I think. I mean, she's very much leaning into her black clothes phase, especially now that she's a ginger again. So she's gonna wear a little, like one, those jackets that have like the little fur around the
Bomber
outside,
jacket.
but yeah, like a bomber jacket, but a black one. She's got a black sheep on, and then like casual leather slacks, killer boots, the hat again. As you
This
do.
is a very small blacker.
Yeah, but with like a pirate hat.
Nice.
But yes, her beard remains stunningly braided and beaded.
Mm.
She's taken on a real skull aesthetic this season.
Fantasy biker. I'm kind of loving it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Although I suppose with the Titan, it's more of a hot rodder.
Oh,
I Look, she's going to car shows every weekend. It's fine.
Right?
100%.
Okay.
She just needs like a girlfriend and like the
Yeah, rockabilly
vintage dress.
girlfriend.
Yeah, the rockabilly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll get you a
Look,
very cute
Morzard would
girlfriend.
probably look great in victory rolls.
Yes, that's all she needs.
And I forgot to mention, Dagmar and Vitericus, you've both earned 100 gold pieces as each. It's your appearance fee for being in the fight.
Love getting paid for our time.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Imagine that, Ezard,
Yeah.
getting
He
paid.
does
He's in the
pay
audience.
us, though.
We have made so much money from looting and none of it from like authentic, from legitimate methods.
I mean,
It's
we're
pay, man. It
adventurers.
doesn't
That
pay.
is legitimate methods.
Sure.
Oh, I was foundry by accident. Oh, good.
Still, there are no arguments being made for honest work.
True.
We try to be honest. We don't get money, so we find other means. We steal from dragons.
The dragon was dead. It's not theft if they're
It's
dead.
looting at that point, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Oils.
That's in the handbook.
In this essay.
So you've gathered at. Are you going to? And you've got a few venues you could go to eat and drink and catch up. There's
Yeah, I guess we'll round up the others
I feel like we should go out rather
because
than back to
the- yeah, we should assemble the chaps.
Yes. Collect the boys.
Was that
Shall we
usual?
go? Shall we go uptown today? I feel like we've got the gold to burn.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Shall we head up to
splurge.
the fancy end of town?
Let's take Orsi somewhere he can eat.
Right. Imagine.
Are we going to the uni bar or the other nice bar?
Moose heads.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fine. I mean, we've been here for so long now. We know where the fine establishments are. I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
You also know.
Yeah.
You also know which ones have been able to get their hands on some of the avocado that is being brought through the new teleportation circle.
Oh, yes.
There it
Supplies are
is.
limited and it is expensive, but
Gonna get Orsi some smashed avo.
it is available.
Smash Tower. Ah, feel like I've lost my grip on the
Remember,
avocado trade.
If we buy you a smashed Avo, you won't be able to afford your floating tower, Aussie.
Oh,
No. If we buy it for him, he's fine. If he buys
We'll
it
just not be able to
himself-
afford housing. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
fine.
right. You lost.
He
Therefore, you
already
should
couldn't afford
buy me
housing.
food. What's that supposed to mean? How dare you?
Okay.
This is actually a good time to move you to the new map of Providence, which sadly is not quite finished. I'm afraid Master Cartographer Zoot has developed arthritis and is limited in terms of how much he can get
It'll
done.
happen. It'll happen.
Mhm.
But
Usual,
Too
though.
real.
Yeah.
Too real.
My goodness.
in terms of
Shadow.
substance, everything is
Mhm.
where it should be. It's just the art is not finished yet. I'm still working on it.
It's very.
I mean, the bits that are.
Shadows.
it's-
I love
this
this. I love this compass. It's
this
beautiful.
new and sexy map.
Mhm.
Love
The
how it's
shadows
like
are
on the
actually just a separate 3D pass that I've then gone through and done some additional painting to.
Mm.
So this
Very
is
nice.
a 3D model of the city that I have rendered out using line art and I'm now painting over, but all of the landscape, all of the rocks, all of the trees, that is all just hand drawn.
It's stunning.
Beautiful.
It's
So
lovely.
it's fine. It's just taking a while and is not good for thumbs.
Mhm.
So,
What is really?
and I can fill you in because this is all stuff that you've seen about town, over the past few months. New defenses are being put up. The as well as the lighthouse bastion out on the spit. There's now a... Oh, I believe I can... Yeah. I can shift left click and force you.
Fuck.
And
Wow.
Yeah. That is the new East Wall Bastion, which actually has views of the beach, the ocean, and the entrance to Fool's Bay.
Fancy.
And these are all have cannons, new cannons mounted on them, some of which are being produced in Providence. Most have actually been salvaged from the wrecks in the bays. The salvage team that the council has approved have been, bringing these cannons up from the bottom of the bay. Curiously, and Vitericus is getting updates, being an investor. The cannons are by far the most profitable and the most useful things I've found so far. They have found very few personal possessions and no masks and no bodies.
No
Interesting.
bodies.
Oh, they got eaten.
That is possible. The
Titan full.
salvage team has reported, complications involving sharks and the occasional mosasaur.
Mm.
Oh,
Dinosaurs on there. Oof.
yikes.
Interesting. Or they're all automated. Or all the crew were in the darts.
Also,
was
like ocean
get there and
currents
then-
carry bodies away. Human tissue is soft.
True. That's true. Anyway.
Worms love people.
I'm sure we'll discover some sort of nightmarish underwater grotto where a lich has taken hold and there's just a bunch of drowned bodies.
Yes.
I
What do
know.
I know? Don't ask
We'll
me, I
only
just know.
discover such a lich if we go looking for such a lich.
Exactly.
They're just going to
Outside,
come
out of
back
mind.
led by. They're just going to come back led by Jeffrey Rush, and I'm okay with that.
It's gonna be Black Pearl. They're gonna come out of the water, all skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. Oh my god, we're gonna have Pirates of the Caribbean up in here. That's scary.
I'm down for that. Like, cannot see
Walking
anything wrong
underwater.
with this.
And everything else that have been basically patching up, rebuilding some of the buildings that were destroyed in the attack, in the Tarthian attack. Basically, all of the important repairs have been completed, and all of the buildings that needed to be demolished have been demolished. Debris has been removed or tossed into some of the fissures that opened up when the ground moved. The Fey Garden has appeared. So what was called the Pit is now the Fey Garden, as some of the Fey magic has been seeping through, and
Lovely.
new wonderful, wondrous plants have begun to grow at an accelerated rate.
I was going to ask you, how fey is it? Like, is it just pretty sparkly Fern Gully fey? Or is it don't go there, a Froggy Watt will come
It is currently Fern Gully Fey.
Right, okay.
Um,
Could
in-
change.
in that the trees don't appear to be any species that occur naturally on this side of the portal, but none of these trees has shown any interest in eating any passers-by.
Oh, lovely.
Awfully. Love it. Pink catidids.
And a seemingly natural spring has occurred.
Oh yes. We should bottle that and sell it.
Yeah,
and part of the,
absolutely not drink that.
No, you should drink it.
Again,
Sell
part
it.
of the fissure has turned into a pond of water that continues to flow down into the hole and possibly then comes back up again through the spring. It's very unclear as to what exactly is going on down there. But nobody has expressed any interest in actually digging down into the pond to find out.
Yeah, I think
Until
probably
now.
if asked, the
That's right, let's
heroes
do it.
the heroes would
We need-
probably say, "Do not under any circumstances fuck with water."
No. And we
in
could
that crater.
bottle it and sell it to rich people for like 10 gold a pop.
Okay, so one half of our heroes say, do not fuck with the water. The other half are like, let's do it again.
Let's monetize it. We need an income stream. That's what we should call it, the income stream.
Oh my god.
Money.
Is
But-
that worth inspiration or a debuff? I'm not sure.
So this is basically currently looking like a bit of a boom time for Providence.
Oh, that's so good. They deserve it.
About an hell of a
Especially
time.
with the new saltpeter trade doing very well over the past
Oh,
few months.
I was gonna say, how are
how'd
they
that
doing with the
go?
budget?
Did the bats go?
No, the report is the massive stone that the bats live under is still there.
Okay, so
it's
the
still-
ship
Just
disappeared
copied it.
Still
from-
hovering
Yeah,
somehow. There is a
I mean,
Interesting.
I guess the crust is still there. The ship might be gone. But...
there is a
wasn't
theory that
there.
maybe the rock on the other side of the portal is empty, but
Mm.
it is still being held somehow by the magic that was holding it there in the first place. It's the Feywild. Things
Fey
are
magic.
weird.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
I'm so glad that the bats aren't homeless though.
Mm-hmm.
That was honestly upsetting me a little bit.
All sorts of Fey
Protect the
problems at that point,
bats.
right? Trying to rehouse all the bats.
Mm.
Or rehome
Can
them.
you point on the map where we are at the bar, Dungeon Master?
Okay, I've not set
With the
any
fancy.
set aside
the
any of
fancy
these
new point.
buildings. Let's make it this one.
Yep, that
Oh,
looks like
very
a bar.
nice.
I like
That
it.
looks
Yeah.
Irish. Beautiful.
It's probably
Right.
called the Wigan Pen.
Right near the coast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess are we all in there now? Is everyone all together?
Yep.
Yeah, we have reunited.
So I guess a quick question for the DM, just as we're sort of doing the flyover of that last little bit. Return on investment for the Fool's Bay expedition?
How much did you invest? Remind me.
I invested 2,000.
2,000. So you have currently received 200 back.
Okay.
It is not yet. You've not yet made a profit out of it. Partly because, mainly because, as I said, they've not really found the small valuable items. They've been able to make a fair amount, basically selling the cannons that they dredge up to the city.
Cool.
But there's more expense involved in actually getting these massive pieces of steel and brass off the ocean floor.
Mm-hmm. All of that straight back into Providence coffers.
Cool. Okay.
Nice.
Excellent.
Being nice with it.
Don't need money. What do I need money for? I've got Aussie.
Right?
Leave him
Well, he
alone.
doesn't have money.
Stop bullying Aussie.
Alrighty, so we're at Mooseheads. The music is up so loud that we can't hear shit. The floor is sticky. There
Not
are
in my-
people doing cocaine.
No,
on the-
this
Not
is a
in-
nice bar.
Yeah, not in my
Yes,
world.
yeah.
Alright.
This is a nice one. This is like the ambiance where you have like the fancy wine bar and you sit down and it's really quiet.
Oh, and the wine list is like this big, and
It's a
you.
scroll that you roll out and it like hits the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very fancy in here. It's
Mhm.
dark
And,
woods.
and the pepper mill is like this big.
Mm-hmm.
Very needs like a man to come and do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carrying it like a grenade launcher.
Wow, you two lost spectacularly.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we really did. That went very differently to how I saw that happening.
So no belt.
Yeah.
No bells.
You lost your belt. Didn't we spend a wish on that belt, by the way?
The city will
That's all
benefit
right.
from the belt. It'll be fine.
He can get it back.
mean-
He can get it back next time. It's fine.
I'm glad
too.
if anyone won, it was no one.
Oh, I couldn't stand
Right.
that new prick winning. Who the hell was that?
He
I
was
have no
such
idea
a
who was
twat.
He
Not
was
a
right
fan.
shiny, whatever he was.
Not a fan.
Mm-mm.
Didn't like him.
Lot of sparkles. Tell you what, though. Tell you
Good
what.
showman, yeah.
Looked too
from-
Too
nice.
many sparkles. It
From
was,
up where
it
I
was
was
too
watching,
much.
I was watching the entire thing. Was so exciting. We was on the edge of our seats for the whole time. It was
Oh, we
fantastic.
heard you. It was nice.
Good calls. Good calls.
It was nice to hear your voice through the horror
Mm-hmm.
of being absolutely ripped apart by someone who I'm quite good friends
Something
with.
familiar about Morzord screaming at us to duck when we should be ducking and us not. It was good.
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself for some parts of it, you know.
Yeah, that whole mist deal was pretty nasty.
Right.
that was great.
Amazing.
Wow.
I didn't. Yeah, we hadn't. they hadn't put me entirely across what was going on with that until it happened. Was
Some sort of
Probably
unknown battleground.
because
It's-
you would have told us, and then we would have known.
Yeah,
that's
it's
fair. That's fair.
quite possible that people said, "Look, let's get Morzot up there. Just don't tell him what's happening because he'll probably shout out, watch out for the."
XYZ, yep.
That's very fair.
Yeah, well, that was fun. I'm glad we did it. I'm
Always.
annoyed I didn't win. Or at least
Dagmar.
one of us
Tell me
didn't
about
win.
it. Ugh.
Dagmar,
Fight.
Dagmar.
Did you? Yes.
Yeah, how was your trip, by the way?
Well, I
Mhm.
made some really cool new friends.
You did?
There were these two amazing dwarves. Well, it's really one is a drow who thinks she's a dwarf. Which we respect her wishes. She was very cool. And then there was this awesome dwarf with a big suit of armor robot, and it was amazing. Also, we saved the kid, but then Xanthi went into the kid, and then we all moved on with our lives, and it was fine.
Okay.
Um,
No, I did. I was worried. I was worried about you,
Kid
Dagmar.
is fine. Thank
Well,
you.
okay. As long as you're
No,
fine.
no,
As long
let
as
me
you're okay.
finish. I was worried about you.
Completely fucked up by a monk.
I did scry in just for a second, just to check on you.
Oh, at which part?
Where you disguised yourself as me, Dagmar. I saw that, you little bitch.
I wasn't you. I was a lady elf.
Oh, really? Really? Uh-huh.
Mozart's doing that thing where he is definitely obscured behind his flagon at the moment.
My mother works in that area. The people who know me down there.
I was just a nondescript, pretty blonde elf for disguise purposes, which didn't work. It was very
Unbelievable.
unsuccessful. They knew it was us
Unbelievable.
immediately, and then
I'm going to get
and
in
then
so much trouble if anyone finds out that they think that I was down there.
definitely no one at all heard about the massive clusterfuck fight on the train. It's fine.
Well, does that mean that thing isn't going to be after you anymore? With the horns?
I mean, she's definitely found a better vessel, I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I
So is that
don't-
gonna bite us in the ass, or is that fine?
I feel like that's a can we can comfortably kick down the road
Okay.
for a bit. I mean, he's an 8-year-old kid who just walked off alone into a crowded train station and with a devil in his head. And
Not most 8-year-olds anyway.
No,
Dad
monsters.
extremely traumatized. The fixer is not having a good one.
So he's not after you anymore, right?
last
I mean,
you
he's not.
last you heard about Paris the Fixer, he basically said, "Yeah, you're not my problem anymore." He is.
He's got a bigger fish to
Yeah,
fry.
he is looking into how to deal with devils, essentially, or how to undo a deal with devils.
His extraordinarily powerful devil has run off with his very young son. It's going to keep him very busy for a while, I guess.
Right.
I think.
So
I think that's probably fine.
okay.
I don't know if the Fixers Guild is done with that contract, but I did go and see my parents
Oh.
and tell them to call off all of it.
Wow, you went and saw them.
I did. I went
So-
and saw my parents.
Kindman, can you give me either you can play out what you said, what Dagmar said, or just give me the gist of what Dagmar said to her parents.
I'm just going to give you the gist.
Mhm.
Basically, Dagmar walked into her parents' mansion, basically kicked in the door because at this point she was the rope had been reached. She was pretty done. So she kicked in the door, marched into her parents' sitting room, basically tossed the crown of Queen Ursuline into their laps, told them that basically they could consider the crown her dowry and her quitter's fee from the family, and that they should forget that she was their daughter because they have been absolutely useless parents. And before they could. Oh, and then she also mentioned that she is thriving in the Wandering Isles, that she is a champion, that she is employed, and that she has good friends, and that one of them is an elf. And then she basically wished them a nice life, turned around, and walked out, but on the way grabbed her grandfather's belt off the wall and said, "I'm fucking taking this."
Okay.
And out she went.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, please.
Oh my god! If she
Basically
us.
I mean, she's here now. How are you going to redact that if she rolls badly now?
Oh, wait. That was a 17, and that was... Okay, so 17.
Okay. So with a 17, your Dagmar's parents have been somewhat publicly humiliated in front of their court. But they basically say, "Oh, you do not wish to be a Amperforge anymore. Very well. You may not use our name anymore." But
On the way out, she's going to turn around like, "Cool, I've been going by Deep Delver for a year. Fuckers."
Cool. So that is that. Dagmar is no longer an Amberforge.
Dagmar Deep Delver, baby.
Wow.
Gotta change my seal. Thank
I'm
you.
going to need to update the overlay.
Congratulations.
So Dagmar is very proud of herself, and she's feeling very, very good. Although she would like to win a fight now, please.
Next time you'll get him. You had him on the ropes.
Yeah. No, I got really fucked up.
Yeah, he was really
fucked up.
scary.
He was not even scratched.
Not even a little bit. And that other guy had a sword and a shield and everything. And
Oh, he was.
no one was just naked, pretty much.
I didn't land a hit on Big Shieldy Boy, but no one. I stabbed several times.
I didn't even see him bleeding.
Pretty sure he must have burned his nips off or something, keeping that chest plate on. Because you heated up on him, didn't you, Vinny?
I was heating him. I tried bewitching him. Nothing fucking stuck.
These are summer eldrin, they're very heat resistant.
Goddamn thing.
You see
Yeah.
how
Sake,
Rexlin
what?
caught my fucking arrow and then flung it back at me.
Yeah,
that's no fun.
Oh, that was
That was
really
the
scary.
worst and coolest thing I've ever seen.
I have never seen anything like that before, and honestly, I hope I never see it again.
We should invite him out adventuring sometime so we can catch projectiles.
Pretty sure he's just going to throw them at me at this point.
That, or we should jump him in an alleyway and just beat him up a little bit. Just, for good measure.
I
Now,
don't really know anything about what he does, but I've heard they can kill you like a week later. So
Oh, God.
I'm going to
How
give
long ago
you.
since you were on the train?
Oh, God. It must have been like a month ago, at
oh my
least.
god,
hopefully.
that one's just gonna drop
The guy
dead.
was drunk. The guy was drunk. He
It wasn't a quivering pot. It wasn't an open way. I don't believe.
No, he was pissing off the train.
It was a pissed monk. Yeah.
I'm going to give you 3 rumors that have cropped up in the past, 4 or 5 months.
Yes, please.
And
Gossip.
I'm going to let each of you pick one. Well, 3 of you pick one because there's only 3 rumors that interests you, and you can do an investigation roll to see how much more you've learned rather beyond the basic, what's floating around. So the 3 rumors are that some kind of death cult has appeared in the Wandering Isles.
Oh,
That there's been
Fuck, that's my Pathfinder game.
seismic activity around Titan's Rest, and that
Aussie
there is
interested in that.
unrest in Talras, back home in Gald.
death cult.
Okay.
Dagmar wants death cult.
Oh, torn between Talraj or seismic activity. Talraj.
But if one
Wow.
of you, if 2 of you want to pick the same rumor, you can get advantage on it, or roll twice.
I am also interested in Talras.
If you want to do
Destabilization of the
Talraz,
government is
I'm
always
happy
popular.
to seismic activity because Aussie's hypey either way.
I was going to say, I
It's-
thought Ozzy would pick the seismic activity.
Because his family are in Talraj, so of course he likes it. Then.
Investigation, right?
Yeah. So-
Mine's
Seismic.
not great, so if we wanted to team up on Talras, we could do that. And I could give you advantage instead.
Well, I just rolled
Too
for
late.
seismic, so I got a 15. I got a +9, and I rolled a 15.
Okay.
Is there one that Morzod's particularly interested in?
He's not terribly interested in any of them. I mean, he'll toddle along to all of them, but none of them involve booze. So
Raising, I've already decided what the rumor is in my head. So
Okay.
I
Size.
got 21.
14.
41. Wow.
Apologies. I'm
Okay.
not quite there yet. Soon. but
What
not
was Vitericus investigating?
yet. Talras.
Taras. Okay. And Morzod, do you want to help with any of these?
yeah, look, I'll help with the Tower Ass one. Morzod read a tabloid.
Okay.
Yes.
So either you roll as well, or Vitericus can roll with advantage.
Look, I have a -1 to investigate,
Okay, maybe.
so
Maybe
maybe
Vitericus roll that
Vinny
one,
should
yeah.
roll that one. Yeah.
19 then on the investigation.
Hey, there
Okay,
we go.
that's good.
That was a really good tabloid.
Yeah.
Very
All right.
informative.
So, what was Dagmar's roll on the death cult?
21.
21. 21 is good.
Sure is.
Dagmar, you've learnt about the death cult that people, there have been stories of people disappearing. This kind of story always crops up every now and again. Oh no, a new cult has merged or something like that. Most of it is completely untrue. But this one there seems to be a bit more substance to it. Most of the disappearances are happening on the coast, in coastal towns, including Heron's Perch, and a few reports in Providence. There have been
The death cult or two bitey ladies.
There have been reports of assailants in cloaks with skull-like makeup or tattoos on their face.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Dagmar
we
doesn't
know
want to
who has
join,
that?
but she likes.
Oh,
Yeah.
no idea.
and because you got a 21, it seems there is a rumor going around that it is a cult of Engadon.
Mm-hmm.
That the goddess of undeath has somehow spawned a cult recently.
Well, now, it wouldn't be a death cult if it was the undeath, would it?
Well, that's the thing. It's been called.
I live, I die, I live again.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
see,
It's been,
that's not undeath either.
it's been
I
called
think
a death cult.
just sounds cooler
Yeah,
than Undeath Cult.
because that is the
Undeath cult.
popular name for it.
Edgy skull cult.
Differently alive cult.
Cool.
So-
I mean, I have no doubt that a cult has risen around a hot goth chick. Like,
So,
come on.
seismic activity at Titan's Rest. One of the mines collapsed. That has come out. There are several deaths involved, but there was no stoppage of work as a result.
Hmm.
Win for
Okay.
capitalism, baby.
Someone needs to talk to their union.
In my head, I know what the answer is. I don't think it's right, but I'm going to go with it.
How is the Fixers Guild the only union that works?
No.
Rail Guild was also quite good.
And unrest in Taras. That was a 19, yes?
Of course.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
19.
There was a tsunami down there too.
It
So,
was.
fairly common knowledge is that the Parliament has censured the Crown as a result of all of the details regarding Princess Imrana becoming a vampire, then no longer being a vampire. The simple fact that a vampire was temporarily allowed to become ruler of a settlement of the kingdom is regarded as completely unacceptable. So
Half of them are probably
the
vampires.
Parliament has moved a motion which censures the Crown, which is basically just a "you did bad,"
Mhm.
Oh, I
has-
thought we were moving towards a republic.
There is
Maybe so,
also
maybe.
talk, rumours, hearsay that the king is either considering or is being pressured into abdicating.
Yo, I think we heard about that before. I think
Drama.
yeah.
Maybe handing the throne to one of his more popular children.
He's human, yeah? He's human, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And the third detail that you've managed to pick up is that Marquis Indris Nahama, who is believed to be the one that turned Princess Imrana into a vampire, has closed his borders to the kingdom.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Temper tantrum.
But that
I
is
mean, or just stopping people coming after him with pitchforks.
Pitchforks.
If he was a real vampire, he wouldn't be worried.
that is the full extent of what you've heard so far.
So
Drama.
ground censured.
And so,
tortured.
as you're sitting around having your lunch, you can fill each other in on all the goss.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just pop that in my notes real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So there was deaths at the mine.
Yes. You didn't get the exact number. It sort of varies from a few people died to dozens of people died, depending on who you listen to.
And there was seismic activity. And work continued.
Yeah.
Okay. Work continued. Do we know what kind of mine it is?
Yes.
That should be public
Yes.
knowledge, surely.
Yeah, Titan's Rest, they are mining the bones of the Titan that the island is named after. It produces a material called Titan bone, which is a sort of super strong alternative to wood. It is very popular in ship construction. But they have also, over the past year or so, started incinerating some of the scraps of Titan bone, because if they've realized if you can get a furnace hot enough, then it produces a byproduct of adamantine, which seems to be in trace amounts in the bone, and they're able to start sort of smelting it into this very precious material. Which is why the island of Titan's Rest is now basically constantly clouded in smoke and fog. Or smog.
Well, I hope that some undead titan doesn't rise. I also hope it's a purple worm. I'm going to wrap that down. Purple worm.
But if it does, it better be fucking cool.
I hope it's a big purple worm. Because you can't have a mine level without a purple worm.
Don't we know exactly what the Titan is?
Oh, I wasn't suggesting the Titan's a purple worm. I just want there to be a purple worm.
there.
I
Okay.
just want there to be a purple worm, yeah. I don't think the island's big enough for one, but fingers crossed.
Depends how deep it goes, I guess, right?
Yeah. I told you, we're going to get underneath there. There's going to be the lich down there. I said before we knew about the death. Oh, I knew it. I feel like Orsi has an announcement at this point. He stands up.
Ding, 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 ding.
Absolutely. No, not the rest of you, just you guys.
Communal.
Yeah. And he turns around and he shows off the back of his hair, which has grown past his shoulders now, and the big robe that he's wearing. He's got like the big fur for his winter outfit. It's like the Coruscant Academy blue, but like a little bit darker, and just like this big puff of like fur that sort of looks like snowy owl feathers. And the back of his robe.
Just straight up marabou.
I mean, yeah, he could do a stork too, but it fur's warmer. And the back of it is this owl, which you haven't seen before. And then above the owl is this crescent moon. And he just stands there going, eh?
Wow, that is impressive.
Looks all right.
That is real pretty, that is.
No,
that's right.
not that. The chain.
What chain?
Do any of you know anything about elves at all?
Do
How
I
long
know
have
anything
been-
about elves, DM?
How long have I been spending with you?
Give me
Roll for elf.
history.
You know, I only
check.
know enough about elves to piss off my family.
Ah, that's a 7.
Actually,
I know nothing
the
about
chain,
elves.
the chain is in the braid, right?
Yeah, it's all braided in.
Morsel probably has a better chance of knowing that then, because they've had their braid chats and
Yep. Morzod, give me a history
collaboration
check,
and
please.
stuff. Yeah, because like while they're all sitting there braiding each other's hair, Morsel doing Dags doing
True. Dags will also roll.
history.
Braid
I've got a
history.
-1 on it, so he's probably gone out
You
of his
could roll
head.
a 20.
I mean, I could, but I rolled an 8 for a total of 7.
Dags
Oh,
was a
God,
17.
Yeah, Moslem didn't pick up
Wow.
on that, but yeah, I reckon Dags would.
Yeah, I think Dagmar, you get it. You probably have a sense
Okay.
for the significance of this.
Once Dags notices the chain, because she's been, she's very fucking low to the ground. She's gonna do a.
Huh? Yeah, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Did
Right,
you
so-
actually
I
discuss
did.
your feeling?
Uh-huh. I talked about things using words. So as you know, I've spent the last, how long has it been? 6 months?
5 or 6 months,
Dungeon
yeah.
Master? 5 or 6 months in Heron's Perch with Cass. And things went well, and we are now engaged.
Hey, congratulations.
Lovely.
Thank you.
When is
thank
the
you.
wedding?
20 or so years from now.
Amazing.
Yes.
One of
My
them
children
long
will be honoured to
engagements.
attend.
If you survive long enough to have any, they'll be invited. You know, you should still be
That's
around.
that's really special, Ozzy.
He has to be alive. He just needs to not get eaten.
Exactly.
We will keep you from not being eaten just so you can go to Ozzy's wedding.
But yes,
Oh,
our family
traditional.
crests are entwined now. His is the moon, and we have an owl.
Oh,
That's why
that's
everyone in my
what-
family has an owl familiar.
oh.
So lovely.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Isn't that fancy? Elfish
Yes.
culture. Well, he's learning things, Viddy.
I know, right? I assume there'll be some kind of engagement party sometime in the next decade.
Yes, next decade, correct.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, please get invitations out early. You know how busy I am with, council and all that sort of stuff.
I'll make sure to have everyone RSVP.
Thank you.
But yes, that's it.
Yeah, but yes, congratulations. And I
God.
will buy a round of drinks to celebrate.
Does anyone
Yay.
else have any news? I got disowned officially. Ozzy's engaged.
There's a death cult.
What did you two do?
I mean, I've just been here cooking and looking after the
Other
garden
than
and the
the
kids.
amazing beard, Morzod.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
very, very
I
wintry.
love it. It's beautiful. It's stunning.
I have to spend so long brushing this thing.
Did we leave the rat with you, by the way?
Well, yeah, we still got him. Yeah.
So
Okay.
we can
hope not.
we can discuss exactly what happened to the rat.
Oh yeah, because I got the spell from the guy, right?
So it's a question of at one point over the past few months, Ledger will have come to you saying, he thinks the spell is ready to go. Do you want to track the rat yourselves, or Izard has suggested you could also forward it to his team at Kai Withel and leave it with them?
If we have an idea of where the rat wanted to go, like not making him run from Providence to there would probably be nicer on everyone.
So one possibility was basically post the rat to Kai Withel.
Ship the rat.
Yeah.
Please take our horrible rat.
The side up, yep.
Or alternatively, you could hold on to the rat and plan to do it yourselves at some point when it's convenient for you.
I mean, that is more fun, I suppose.
Well, I mean, surely we could just have the guys at Kai Withel do some advanced recon for us.
I'm
And
fine
then
with
when we get there, we
posting
get
the
there.
rat.
If the rat survives, we can always try and track him again.
Sounds like rat post.
All right, posting the rat.
Rat
Okay.
posting.
We've posted the rat.
You've posted
Mods
the rat.
asleep. Mods asleep. Post rats.
Kai
So,
Withel team doesn't report in for ever again. They're just
well,
gone.
here's the
Well.
thing. You post the
Ominous
rat.
silence from
I
Kai.
hope it's 95% elves and they just don't care.
You post the rat, or Izard, assist you with that, along with instructions on how to track the item that has been attached to the rat.
What's his drip? What's it look like?
Well,
A little
I'm
collar.
assuming it's basically like a metal band, like you band most animals. But
Okay.
if any of you wanted to have a hand in dripping it up,
Yes.
am I using it
Yeah.
right?
Aussie would like to have a tiny collar commissioned for the rat with Specky written on it.
Good day, fellow kids.
Dagmar can make the collar.
Yeah, could put diamonds in it or something.
I could, if you want to waste diamonds on the terrifying rat.
Okay, they're only tiny ones.
No, fair enough. All right, can Dagmar craft a tiny collar for Stumpy?
Sure.
Specky!
What's his
Yeah,
name?
Stumpy's dead, right? Stumpy's dead.
Stumpy's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah,
Stumpy
Which one's
died.
this?
We
Specimen
got-
8 is what we've got.
Becky,
Yeah.
that's right.
Specimen
Yeah.
specimen 8.
Specky!
Becky, right.
Um,
What do I roll?
That's an Italian astronaut, a specimen.
Let's make this.
We can swap it out for cubic zirconia, it's fine.
Just make this a dexterity check.
Did she get advantage or proficiency out of
So I
it
should
this
check.
time?
Do you have Tinker's tools?
Yeah.
Is it jeweler's tools? 'Cause
Okay.
it's
I
a
have
sparkly
jeweler's
collar?
tools.
Oh yeah, it could be jewelers. Yeah, so make it dexterity
I
plus
have
your.
jeweler's tools and smith's tools.
Okay, so it's dexterity plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so that was 10 plus proficiency, which is 5, so 15.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Yeah, it is
Bear
both.
in mind, Dagmar does not like this rat. She was not trying super hard.
Yeah, so it
Well,
is
she
not a
likes the rat a lot.
masterpiece, but it is
Oh.
sturdy and strong and will hold. You're certain. And so Orsi, I don't actually have the
Oh, the spell, that's fine.
the details of the spell. Basically, it is a third
Okay.
level. It is a third level spell, and in order to continue to track the rat, you will basically have to. It'll cost you a spell slot for the duration of knowing where this rat is.
Fine. Is it like until I drop concentration, or is it like an hour, or?
It is the benefit of the spell is that you can
long
do it
range.
any time,
Yeah.
and it'll then last for 24 hours until you cast it
24
again.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just write that down. Cool.
Um,
Right. So, are we doing anything else? Should we track this rat? Vitericus, do you have anything you have to do?
Well,
or...
if you post off the rat
Rat's posted.
with instructions, and so also you can, if you want to, you can use the spell to actually, track your post.
Right. Oh my god.
Yeah, as it
We've
goes.
just invented postal tracking. We've
And-
done it.
And you confirm, you can,
That's a curse.
if you check it, you can see it goes, they avoid Mercer's Pass, they go through Opportunity, through Rivermeet. There's a delay in Romsey.
Typical.
It says it's in Heron's Perch. Why is it in Heron's Perch?
It just sits in Romsey for 4 days for no apparent reason. And then suddenly it's in Kyle even though that's another 3 days away.
Unbelievable.
And so you're confident that it has been delivered. And then...
Did they get a signature? Do we have a photo of it sitting on their doorstep?
So that
I
was
hope there's like a message in there that says like contact Orsi.
So that was a couple of weeks ago. And now, while you're having your catch-up chat, you are spotted by Izad, who...
What's his drip?
Yeah, winter.
He's
outfit,
going
let's go.
to the good. He's in the wine bar. Is he on a date at this time of the day?
Is he with anyone? Are we rolling
Mystery
perception?
someone?
I'm afraid this is a business occasion
Does he
for
have
him.
does he have kissy marks on his neck? Huh?
No,
Can
he
we do
does
a
not.
check?
No, he does
Oh,
not.
no.
But
Freshly out of the bath, is he?
April,
Is he oily?
April,
Yeah.
you designed his original outfit, so I'll let you describe his winter outfit.
Exactly the
Wouldn't it
same.
be
but there's a fur collar.
the same one with the marabou on it? So
It's exactly the same, but there's a fur collar. Arms are out, tits are out. No difference.
that's what Morzod basically looks like. Because I originally designed like all kinds of interesting layered
Muscle
Cossack
generates
shit.
heat.
I was gonna say he's
warm.
got to be one of those furnace dudes. So
He's
like
warm.
same outfit, but with fur trim on some things.
So
The
fur
snow
collar
just
and then
retreats around him.
It does. It turns to rain, like
Yeah.
in Twilight.
Yeah.
And the bottom of his coat, also, the bottom of his cape, also has fur.
I love it. Love it.
So, as you've been discussing the rumors and catching up, Izad walks up to you and says, "Friends, may I interrupt for a moment?"
He's a
Please do.
Good.
Yes,
Good
can
to
we get
see
you a drink?
friend.
No, I need to get back to work. I'm afraid I'm here on some serious
play-
matters. This is not
Playing
a
hooky
personal visit.
on the clock.
Is this about the rat?
I'm afraid it is.
What happened to Specky?
I don't know, but my team, who are investigating the rat, have stopped reporting, and
Oh God!
Oh no.
and they have
This
stopped,
is
God.
red.
and they are no longer responding to my messages. Which
Oh god, they've eaten
Did
each
we
other.
did we write in the instructions not to eat or be eaten by the rat?
Did someone get? Did it?
I thought it was
transfer?
implied. God.
Did we put a note
Do you
in?
really
I
have
don't
to write
remember.
down "Do not eat rat"?
Izad
Did the rat
says,
bite them?
I gave very clear instructions as to what was happening, Their job was to find out where the rat wanted to go, not engage, just find out where it was going and then report back. Last I heard, they were preparing to release the rat and follow it, and there's been nothing since.
Right, and so were they underneath Kaiwithel? Were they further out, or were they in the floating tower itself? Or?
Then the floating tower generally does not allow non-elves to enter, but they were helping with some. There are some archaeological digs on the surface where parts of the citadel have fallen, and they have been spending most of their time there, just helping assess any magical items that appear from pre-cataclysm days. So this was to have been a change of pace, a chance for them to get out of town. But I'm afraid I think I need to ask you to find out what has happened to my people and to our rat.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's not going well.
Yeah, I have an estimate.
You have an estimate
Yeah.
of?
Gore.
Oh.
No, that's
Okay.
not an estimate.
Seems
That's
likely.
the other thing. Because they got different names for when it's
Prediction?
yeah. I was
Maybe.
thinking there's what is it? The hippopotamus.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. Yeah, you've got an hypotenuse.
Hippocampus?
You've got
A
a hippocampus.
hypothesis?
Hey, I think that's the one.
Thank you, God.
Maybe it is a hypotenuse.
That was
Izard.
Izard.
That was easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wizard.
Hypotenuse sounds right, though. I don't.
It's
Hypothesis?
triangles. The shape's very hard. We're working on them with more
Whatever.
swords still.
Anyway, a theory. I have a theory. It could be witches.
Or maybe bunnies.
Or maybe both.
I could, if you describe the area to me really well, I could scry and check, but I'm sure I probably won't find anything there. Maybe
Why not
there's
describe
one-
yeah.
Becky?
Could you scry for the rat?
Related. Has Dagmar gotten her anti-scrying tattoo off the enchant
The enchantress.
It will cost you if you want it. Are you happy to
Oh
pay?
yeah, I want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that will be 200 gold pieces.
Cool.
Easy.
Cool. Dagmar now has a really cool anti-scrying sternum tattoo.
Cool. And that is
Ooh.
with a friend of the enchantoist discount.
But she got it after her dwarven adventure because Orsi scryed on her there.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, I can just let's just try scry on Specky real quick.
Okay.
Let me just. I'm pretty sure he's a creature.
I guess so. Unless there's something that DM knows that we don't.
Yeah, I don't know if he's now considered like a monstrosity or something.
Or a plant.
Yes,
Can
you
you
think
spray on a plant?
you can see and hear a particular
You
creature
can, but not in this spell.
as long as they're on the same plane of existence.
Okay, I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
So it's a blink rat now.
Okay. Yep. So
He said okay.
Without
It's
the
a blink
mirror?
rat.
Yeah,
you whip out the
mirror's
mirror.
out. Yeah.
Easy. Crowd around. This is always fun. You've got to watch
Oh
this.
yeah, watch. I'm really good at this now.
And he takes a moment to admire himself in the mirror when
So beautiful.
As well, you should.
the glass frosts over again, cracks appear, fall away, and as you look through, all you see is red. Deep, dark red. And you can just hear this.
Oh no.
And
Oh.
then it all clouds to black and the glass restores. You
I
don't
don't
get
like
your
that.
full 10 minutes of scrying. It's that. And
Don't
that's
like
it.
that. Don't
Yeah,
like that.
I think
Normally
my
better than that,
estimate
Izard, I
was
promise.
pretty correct.
Yeah, there's usually not like heartbeats and so much red.
And Izard says, I am familiar with the scrying spell, and I do not like what I just saw.
It would be weird if you did, to be honest.
As Specky got turned into some sort of soup. Assimilated.
I've never come
So-
across a soup with an heartbeat, and I do not wish to.
Hmm.
Agreed.
And he
Well, there was
says,
that one down in the cave, right? That was that was a pudding. Never mind. Carry on. Sorry.
he says,
I don't want to talk about that thing.
think I'm going to have to do more than just ask you to go. I'm going to have to offer you money to go.
Oh,
I
is
mean,
that,
this is
is
serious
that what
shit.
it takes?
Wow, geez. I mean, if you're offering, we're not going to say no.
Yes, I'm very happy to fund anything you might need on the way out, up to... you can see he does some maths about how much discretionary funding does he have available, when he says, it was not much, but 1,000 gold.
We can get some potions with that, yeah.
We're taking
Excellent.
the Titan, right?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Of
absolutely.
course, we're taking the Titan.
And he says, oh,
I guess
actually,
I could tell.
this might be a chance. We've had a request come through to the academy, and they've mentioned you by name. I think, but I think it came through to us because it wasn't necessarily you that they're after. The Oceanic Trading Company. They have a small presence in Providence. There's one. This is David just checking his notes. And Izad. Captain Osmar Verdini is a captain of trade with the company. He wants to open Mercer's Pass. He says that he is in the process of building an expedition, essentially, to not just clear the pass of the creatures that inhabit it, but also find and destroy whatever is causing them to appear. And
We might want to employ some limb farmers.
well,
Yeah.
he has asked for any assistance that the Academy can offer, and he also asked whether the four of you might be willing to offer your expertise and possibly your muscle.
I got my first grievous injury in Mercer's
Is
Pass.
he offering funds for these?
I think I was already 2 grievous injuries in at that point,
He
but it
says-
was a bad one.
Yeah, the spider had already got you.
Yeah, thanks, Mordor.
He's
Solid reminder.
He said clearly that the company will very happily reimburse and reward those who help in this endeavor. Has been non-specific about an amount. I suspect you'd have to speak to him about it.
He should employ them
We can
kobolds.
negotiate. Mhm.
Good enough for me.
Well, that
I mean,
sounds
yeah,
like
we should-
something you might be able to do on the way there or on the way back, as you so choose.
Mhm.
Yeah, we should probably get a wriggle on if this thing has a heartbeat. So,
Well, it
Alright.
may have just been Specky turned inside out.
It sounded
think it's
kind of-
good. It's similar. It sounded too big.
Mm.
Yeah, it sounded big. It was not a ratty heartbeat that you were hearing.
You didn't listen to him when he didn't sleep. It was so cute. His little heartbeat was racing. Look, I only knock out for 4 hours a night.
Very attached to that rat.
I really like him.
Did you eat any of the rat?
I don't eat regular meat. Why would I eat a living rat?
Saying
That's it,
people get
that's-
real weird around that rat.
That is a
And-
good point.
Izad says, on that note, I'm going back to work.
Okay.
You'll find
Alright,
you'll
we
find
hope to see you again someday.
you'll find Captain Verdini at the Oceanic Trading Company headquarters down by the docks.
Now, do we
Thank
want to
you.
head down there, or should we? Thank you, Isa. Should we head down there, or should we just like leave and I can message them?
What's
I
the
have a name.
time?
No, let's
Oh,
go have a
we-
chat. We're in the Titan. We'll be, even if he's already left, we'll still beat them there.
You got the impression that they had not left Providence, that they were waiting for assistance and expertise before setting out.
Shall we?
Why?
All right, let's go waddle down there then.
Yeah, let's go talk to these people who want to fight bone monsters.
What time is it, DM?
After the arena fight and after your lunch, it'd be about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Ah, plenty of time.
I have to change anyway, so.
Yes. Vitericus stands up, smooths down his new heavily quilted jacket, which he wears, like quite a long one, Peter Baelish-y, if you've watched Game of Thrones. Rearranges his new shoulder gear, which is the 4 masks that he's taken from various Tarthian wizards. One on each shoulder, and then the 2 Cova Fen ones sort of across the breast.
You're getting real bardy, and I like it.
Holding down his cloak of billowing / the manta ray. I assume we've been paying for drinks at this point for quite a while. I know how much drinks are worth here. I'm going to drop enough on our table to pay for a round for everyone. And declare drinks on your freshly defeated champion of Providence. And swagger out.
And that is well received. There, cheers and thanks.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
You can head your way down to this point on the map, which is where the new headquarters are for the OTC, as well as the general area. The harbour has seen a lot of new building work. So that the side of the cliff now has this sort of winding ramp going up, which is making it a lot easier.
Wheelchair accessible.
Yeah. But there's also this new bastion that has been set up with cannons again, so the harbour is much better protected than it used to be. And there's also the town now has something approximating a military presence beyond just the town guard. So you've got some barracks in this area which house both the town military and a small number of soldiers from the Oceanic Trading Company. But at the headquarters, you will find Captain Osmar Verdini. He is human, looks to be in his late 30s, tall, fairly pale skin, white hair, so almost prematurely white hair.
Fitting.
Judging by his face.
A little bit, hey.
And
has he got a mustache?
Fairly long face. No mustache, but he does have a goatee.
Your brother.
It's like Vatericus in 10 years.
And on seeing the 4 of you, if you sort of introduce yourself at the front, then you'll immediately be brought through to see the captain. And he'll say, Oh, it's you. Thank you for coming. I was more than, but you needn't have troubled yourself. I would have quite happily gone to wherever you needed me to be.
It's fine.
So, I don't know how much detail you have, but the Oceanic Trading Company has tasked me with opening up Mercer's Pass to trade and transport, which, from all the stories I've heard, is going to be a big job. And our word is...
it sounds like they might not like you very much.
Yeah.
That's the job they've
feel like a
given you.
shit detail, yeah.
Well,
Or maybe they really trust in your skill.
I'd like to...
Goods are being transported.
Anything that they want. The elves at Kaiwathel in particular have a lot of requests that, especially for fresh food, fresh fruit and so forth, that are not necessarily easy to get to them quickly, going around the long way, but a lot easier if we can go directly from Providence to Kaiwathel instead of having to go via Rivermeet. And though I don't mind saying that the company would also like to avoid some of the tariffs that Rivermeet charges on trade that goes through that city. So I won't lie and tell you that this is an altruistic endeavor intended to make travel safe. It is purely for profit.
Trade.
But my understanding is that the 4 of you have been through Mercer's Pass and survived. And so...
been through is the right phrase for it.
So I'd very much like to employ your services in helping my troops find the source of whatever is causing these creatures to appear in their pass and deal with it once and for all.
We
Oh,
could do
we know
that.
some good holes to cower in.
Yeah, we can sort that out. What sort of reimbursement are we looking at for these?
This is
It's very dangerous.
well.
We nearly died last time, and we're very experienced.
I'm prepared to offer each of you 500 gold pieces for your assistance, if that is acceptable.
Not terrible.
We
Derek, do you have
will
any? Yeah.
think on your offer. When are you planning to leave?
He says, as soon as we have your word and I'm able to muster my troops.
Okay, well, give us some time, maybe a day or two to think, discuss, see what's what.
Figure
we
out what
will-
order to do things in.
Yes, we will have an answer for you as soon as possible.
At the very least, I have to choose which of my troops to take with me. I can only take a certain amount, so I'd like your suggestions on which types of units are going to be the most likely to be of use. So this is
Biggest bowls.
this is a point buy system, essentially.
Oh.
So the captain has, we are saying, 4 points to spend, or you have 4 points to spend, because you basically get to tell him what to take with him. And you've got 3 different types of units. You've got musketeers, pikemen, and grenadiers. Musketeers and pikemen cost 1 point each. Grenadiers cost 2 points, and you can only take 1 unit of grenadiers. Each unit is composed of a squad of 4 troops. So, musketeers, they're versatile, they're ranged, they basically deliver a volley of fire from a distance. Pikemen are, they have armor in terms of, they've got breastplates, helmets, and long pikes, and they are specially trained in melee combat, and especially against large monsters and creatures. Grenadiers are picked, basically the best, the tallest, the strongest musketeers are picked out to become grenadiers. So they have muskets, they can shoot at range, they also carry grenades, and they are specially trained in lobbing these grenades at enemies to just blow everything up. And they are elite units. They are stronger, tougher, more hit points.
More rat bites, got it.
I mean, yeah, I know where I'd be putting my points. Roll up our list for us, Doug.
Yes. Hang on, let me just engage the 40k side of my brain. We have 4 points.
Yeah.
No.
So are these guys going to be helping us clear Mercer's Pass? Is that safe? Or are we just going to get like a bunch of dudes killed? We're going to get 16 dudes killed.
You
Well-
shape your spells, it's fine.
Captain very much hopes not.
I can't do much to shape a spell around a Chaos Stallion that's eating 4 men at once.
Mm. I don't know. I feel like nades are a good choice.
I like grenades. I like it when blow stuff up.
Grenadiers are helpful, but I guess grenadiers are great against tightly packed folk.
Yeah, we're
And
probably
we're-
going to have big monster hunter.
More likely to be monster
Why not?
hunting.
Yeah.
It's good
I
for
mean-
blowing off limbs.
That's true. 2 pikes and a grenadier squad sound reasonable.
Sounds good to me.
We don't want the musketeer guys that are just going to blow their hands off.
They're gonna roll ones because rolled too many 20s last game. and-
Yeah, you took all the 20s. While nobody
all the
was looking,
20s
the
from
DM
us.
took all the 20s, and that's
Ate
terrible.
them, and now we only have ones on the plate left now. So yeah, I agree with that.
Me too.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
that was Doug picking the squad. Vatericus would have no idea, but
Let's
No,
go with
this
that. Let's
is-
say we discussed it.
yeah.
We all put our heads together, and that was the conclusion.
Cool.
Yeah.
We all went,
So-
mm.
2
Mozart likes
units of
dead
pikemen,
bombs.
1 unit of grenadiers for a total of 12 troops.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why did I think it was 16?
because it would have been 16
Oh.
if we took
Yeah.
Right.
units of muskets.
Yeah.
Grenadiers
So
are too
that
far.
is the disadvantage of picking grenadiers. You get fewer bodies on the field.
Oh, I'm thinking of Grenadine. Okay, never mind.
These
Slightly
men
different
are,
thing.
in fact,
I was just like, I love a good cocktail.
high fructose. Yeah, tequila sunrises all the way down.
Orange flavored chappies.
Well, no, not orange. Pomegranate.
Is it?
Grenadine is pomegranate.
Grenadine's pomegranate.
Oh my god, I have been
Living a lie.
living under a completely
It's
different.
pomegranate coloured. Anyway, we'll talk about it later.
So, Captain Vidini is grateful for your advice on what kind of horrors to expect in Mercer's Pass, and
All of them.
says that if you agree to, essentially escort his troops, then they will be prepared to leave in not tomorrow, but the day after at sunrise.
Could probably get our shit together that fast.
Yeah, I've got some stuff I want to do. I think that's plenty of time.
As does Vatericus now.
Now we have things that we need to do.
Cool.
Bags has nothing on. She's good.
Okay. Well, let's take a short break, and then we can.
Already.
After which we'll come back and you can start to make your preparations for the journey to clear Mercer's Pass. We will be back in just a moment. See you soon. And we are back. And my players are eager to kill Chaos Stallions, apparently. So
A statement I'm sure we'll be punished for.
Oh, yeah, we'll be regretting that as soon as...
So our heroes have agreed, they've signed up to a job with the Oceanic Trading Company, a joint venture by the Kingdom of Taras and the Stonehold States, but for legal purposes, an independent organization that is seeking to open trade through Mercer's Pass.
Legal and tax purposes.
And to do so it's been concluded it's not enough to kill the creatures that inhabit Mercer's Pass, but also to work out why do they keep coming back, what is the source of this apparent corruption, and to deal with it once and for all.
I mean, I think we sort of have an answer, but I don't think they're going to like it.
We've got to find whatever portal there is.
So our heroes have agreed to do this. They have, well...
We've agreed to escort and
We've agreed to
advise.
think about it. We've agreed
Okay,
to think about it.
so let us go to your characters discussing whether you're going to do this.
I assume
I
we're back at
mean-
the orphanage.
Yeah. Is Vatericus statue still there? Or you have to make a stone call? We don't have any stones to call in.
That's a shame. But I will need to talk to the Providence City Council at some stage. Before we
Do you
go.
need me to send him a message?
I mean, at some stage when I'm actually ready. Let me tell you what I'm thinking, and then that way, for once, it won't be a surprise when I spring a plan on everyone.
I was going to say, hang on, you're telling us what you're thinking. You don't usually do that.
Wow,
It's quite
character
rare.
growth. Truly.
Morzod's going to need to be on my side for this, since he's at in the council anyway, and we'll need a tiebreaker anyway. I'm sure. But we are the closest city to our side of Mercer's Pass.
Yes.
So, why don't we involve the city, get a couple of extra units of troops going, and give the city the option to set up a way station to Mercer's Pass where they can charge tariffs and transport fees.
I was about to say, instead of Rivermead charging tariffs, we can have Providence charge tariffs.
But we will charge less. Or more, since we're the faster route anyway.
Since it's the faster route, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that makes good business sense. I guess the city is trying to set up more revenue streams, right?
Bad business sense for the OTC, so they're unlikely to go for it. They want the free trade. But if Providence sets up troops and gives the OTC like free pass for a year or something,
Are we epic?
then potentially.
I mean, are these tax? Is there Dungeon Master? Maybe you can answer this question. Like, is there tax on these goods? Where is this tax being paid to? If so,
It is tariffs. If you move goods through a town like Rivermead, there tends to be, loading and unloading of ships always comes with a cost. That sort of thing. Basically, the only way to avoid paying a tariff is to circumvent the town, to not take your goods into town. They are inspecting to see, okay, these aren't just personal possessions you're bringing through. You are bringing through a bulk quantity of things that you intend to either sell here or to sell further down the line, which means that essentially you are using our city's services for business purposes, so we are going to charge you a tariff.
Just looking at the can we get a map of the Wandering Isles so I can see how far away exactly Mercer's Pass was from Providence again?
Keldrith East will get you there.
Oh, Keldrith East is on there?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keldrith East will show you what's going on over there.
Oh,
I do
here we
not
go.
own any token with vision in that scene.
Mercer's Pass, right there. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the Wandering Isles. I haven't fixed that up.
I mean, yeah, we could even we could convince the city to even do a little something in the fork of that road there, saying if you're going this way.
That's what I mean. So
goods, yeah.
anyone who's already paid their tariff in Providence won't have an issue. Anybody who's coming from Golden Ford or Heron's Perch or Rivermeet will have an extra opportunity to pay the city of Providence, having contributed to the clearing of Mercer's Pass.
I like that.
I do not understand, but we'll vote with you.
Wonderful.
Dagmar definitely understands. Kindwin is hearing static, but you know.
Aussie and April are both for this.
Okay, you can present this to the council.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get a quorum. Everybody's able to attend. You make the proposal, and the other council members suggest that the Oceanic Trading Company should have a voice in this, since the original plan was theirs. It would basically, the city does not want to put the company offside with this decision, because they are responsible for a great deal of international trade. You do not want to make an enemy of them.
Yes, which is why I'm making all sorts of concessions to the OTC in the paperwork.
The OTC will sort of make a counter proposal of they would be very happy for Providence to also help with this endeavor. And what if they basically created a joint waypost where a portion of tariffs will go to the company and a portion will go to the city.
So
real fucking complicated is what that sounds.
So
I'm sure we'd haggle over the split.
Is the company paying tariffs to themselves in that case? Or is it any other
they would be
trading
exempt
company?
from their own tariff?
Yeah,
and
they would own it. Partly own it, so they would never have to pay. Yeah, it's just if anybody else were to travel through.
Any other trading company or whatever, bulk goods.
Yep.
Now, it's just going to hurt small business.
That is what your fellow councillors are concerned about. The main concern is, does this mean that the company is basically going to dominate all trade through Mercer's Pass?
Now,
I guess mounting a little monopoly.
Can we do like an under X amount of, because like small businesses won't have the same amount of bulk goods as commercial bulk goods. Can we put a, we're doing business, can we put like a cutoff or something in terms of like you can have X amount of Y, but over that amount you have to pay tariff to both companies or whatever, the city. I'm not even on the council.
The council and the company, the complication is you then have to enumerate how much is a commercial quantity of whatever, of everything, which is doable, but is complicated.
I like complexity.
Fleet of auditors.
Whereas the company is saying, look, we'd rather just charge passage, essentially a toll everybody who comes through our way station will pay for the safety of coming through.
Yeah, it's a privatized road at that point.
Yeah,
In that
pretty
case,
much.
they don't want to clear up once and for all, right?
Well, no,
I
because
mean,
then
it's
you
a-
just control the access point. So it's the M4, right? Like it's a toll road.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we
So
have
we are
cleared.
really creating some evil here.
We have cleared
We
this.
are
We have cleared
introducing
this for
tolls.
you, is what they're saying. It's like we have made the M4 for you, and we
I
are
mean,
now
we-
trying to recover the costs.
We
Recoup
cleared
the
it.
cost. Sure. I think sorry, we're going to get real businessy here for just a second.
I want Aussie to be on this meme. It's fascinating.
I wonder then if there is scope to set a. If we're just charging a toll, right? Like if all we're doing is charging access, which is perfectly fine, I'm happy to do that. We need to have a set cap on what we're charging, because I don't want peasants paying months of
Right.
work to get through Mercer's Pass.
Is there any way we can introduce some sort of tag system? We have- We're just doing road tolls now.
Honestly,
Very,
Mercer's
like-
Pass is dangerous at the moment and untravelable at the moment. If we charge something small, copper,
It's not going to be a really used route to begin. For a while, there's a lot of
Correct.
pits, there's a lot of bone kings. It's not great. But I mean, a tag system's not a terrible idea, right? Like you're an X level of a business, you have a green tag, large
Yeah,
commercial company has a red tag.
charging everyone who's coming through, or just people with commercial goods to sell?
I think everyone, it sounds like.
If it's a
I mean,
Kind of
toll,
sounds like you should let just pedestrians through, like, or people traveling.
if it's a
should travel for
toll,
free.
then it would be a flat cost. One council member also suggests surely there must be a way to charge people by the weight of the materials they bring.
Oh my god, way
That's true.
stations. Fuck.
we could do a
Yeah.
way station.
That
You do that.
sounds-
That
That's,
would probably
Sarah.
require the academy being involved at that point. But
that's really going to hit like metal trade, those heavier ones, quite a bit.
And
Why do
the
they need so much metal out there for, I suppose?
company then says the good news is that they will probably be doing most of the the company itself will be doing most of the bulk transport of stuff. So
Good point. I
Yeah.
mean, yes. Oh, I like the weight system. I'm sorry, my name's Aussie. I'm not on the council, but
Aussie
you
and
ha-
Dagmar
Yeah,
are in the
team.
you
state.
have
An
been permitted.
advisor.
You have been permitted to. This is the kind of decision that is not considered, sensitive. It's not a
we
security.
come from money.
It's not
We
an
know what
internal
we're doing.
security concern. It's the kind of thing where they think, let's get the public feedback on this, see what people think.
I don't know if
feel
Dagmar
like-
and Aussie could be considered the public, but yeah.
Dagmar is like scribbling notes and calculations.
Aussie's just trying to work out like how we get the avocados to the elves.
yeah,
Uh,
so I would imagine that we do a bit of that back and forth and eventually come to something that is not terrible for the general populace, but doesn't let the OTC just have absolute free reign over
We don't want a monopoly
Mercer's
situation
Pass.
here.
Because we don't want them to monopolize Mercer's Pass altogether.
Because we can always, if we're going to zip up the whatever portals there, we can always unzip it if they want to be sassy.
And I should have mentioned this conversation is all taking place in the newly constructed council chambers.
Oh.
That's right, because we were using the stadium.
You were
Yeah.
meeting in the arena, but that is no longer.
Got real awkward with the mist knocking
Yeah.
off the council
it-
on the other end of the table every.
Is it the cleaned out flesh bomb room or are we like brand new?
No, it is a brand new building. It is here on
The
the
tower fell down.
map
Yeah,
of
the
If
Providence.
you
tower-
jump over to the
fully-
Providence map,
I
you'll
didn't know
see.
if they may have, scraped stuff off the tower and redid it, but very nice.
No, that's the Temple of Desmina now, right?
Yeah.
What used to be.
Oh, yeah, it is too. Yeah.
So,
We have a nice little house building.
yeah,
Mhm.
Terrace houses, yeah.
Municipalities.
Lovely.
Should I be okay? Over
and
there.
it's not the largest and most it has been decided that it should not look like the massive state capitol buildings that you might get
The
in-
eggs are no longer in one basket.
but they've made it
As
Better,
targetable.
better hidden basket, yeah.
it is a building that is suitable to the purpose without standing lording it over the people and saying we
Does that
make
mean
the-
they're Easter eggs now?
we are your boss.
All right, well, since we've all decided on that,
There will be because there are other members of the public during this, there will be some protests because people are not happy that it feels like they're moving into an official the city would be moving into official partnership with the Oceanic Trading Company. And there is a feeling, wasn't the plan for the city to remain independent and not, they're very happy to trade with the company, but to actually essentially go into an alliance with them would seem to compromise the city's ideals.
Look, it's either that or the cops stay empty. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what if we make it a temporary lease? 99 years or something. That's nothing to it. No.
It's nothing to
But
me.
like a year, right? Like if we have a 1-year lease,
Whitlam on the 99-year lease, so
where we control the buildings
use of the road.
The OTC stocks the place with men and equipment, and then they rent the space from us for a year.
And what happens after a year?
We revisit, and if we decide that the OTC is no longer in line with what Providence wants to do, we send them off and we retain control of the buildings.
We can do a trial year, and then we can do a long-term lease from there if it goes well.
Okay. So that is the proposal, a joint venture with essentially a 1-year lease, after which there would be basically a review of the situation and whether it should continue, whether it should be changed. And a few members of the public say that there should also be a guarantee that the Oceanic Trading Company will not abuse its power to basically create a monopoly on all trade towards the west.
don't be evil clause.
With this, the council is going to vote. I know how 2 of these members would vote. Let's see how it turns out.
So it's voting with Viddy because he trusts.
2. Okay.
That's what Mozart does.
That's fair.
In fact,
I mean, I'm not working from a terrible position.
2
he's not evil.
2 of the council members are going to vote against this. So Haldane Brightflare is the tavern owner in the Seaward, and Kruagak, the union leader in the on the docks. They are unhappy about the amount of power that this gives the Oceanic Trading Company. But Councillor Tharek Coldsteel, the longest-serving council member, is in favour. She thinks that this is a good way to bring income in without, forming an official long-term alliance with any other partner.
Giving them less power than if we left them alone, though.
That means that
privatize the whole thing. At least we get say this way.
if Vetericus votes in favour, then Morzod will be needed to break the tie.
Well, yeah, Mozart is frowny, but because I feel like the union guy. I mean, wouldn't he want us to dilute the trading company?
Well, his concern is that this agreement would actually give the trading company more power. You're basically spending the city's resources in order to support a private company, with the hope that, hey, maybe the city will then benefit from it in the future. But he points out the city's coffers are the taxes. It is the people's money. And they should not go into supporting the private profits of a separate company that isn't even associated with the city.
I mean, Muzzle doesn't have any arguments here. This is just Zindi thinking about it.
He's going to not say anything because he's trying to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vetericus is still thinking about it quite a bit, but the argument from Vetericus' side has always been if we don't, they'll clear Mercer's Pass on their dime and basically
Exactly.
monopolize it anyway.
Like, kind of caught between a rock and a chaos stallion at this point.
Yeah, it's more getting a foot in the pie than
It's being baked. I would like to have a finger in it.
If Vetericus says that, then Haldane Brightflare, the dwarf who runs the tavern in the Sea Ward and was elected because he's sort of known as a peacemaker, he will stand up and say, you seem confident that the company will be able to handle Mercer's Pass on their own. He turns to Captain Verdini and says, why did you ask the Heroes of Providence to help you with this if you are capable of emptying the pass yourself? And the captain will say,
it's just good business.
He will pause for a moment, consider his words very carefully, and finally say, frankly, I don't think we can do it ourselves. I think we do need the heroes' help. And there are a few surprised looks, as this is not the kind of thing you would expect someone who is completely loyal to the company to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good man.
Or at least he knows what's good for him.
Yeah.
And so Haldane will then say, so it seems that without the city's involvement, this will not happen at all, and Mercer's Pass will remain closed to all traffic, which,
no,
frankly,
to the city.
They're
paying us privately.
Yeah, technically, we could still do it, but
concerned private citizens could still do it on the company's dime, and that can create a problem for the city.
Yeah, and Haldane also says, furthermore, I suspect the four of you might be able to do it on yourselves on behalf of the city. But then again, would you feel more comfortable embarking on this endeavor with, say, a few dozen guards to support you, soldiers to support you?
Actually, I kind of would prefer it if no one came with us, because he's just going to get eaten.
But then we get eaten.
No, we're not. We've got magic and stuff. We're fine.
Interesting. So the counter proposal is, and I will talk basically, not quite ignoring the captain, but our counter proposal is that we cut the OTC out completely.
Haldane is saying, I'm not proposing that. I'm simply saying that.
Don't think the city can pay the amount that they were offering to pay.
Quite simply, it might be that this could never happen without the company and the city working together.
Yes, which was my initial thought, hence bringing it to us, and now we're sort of hashing out the details.
We've come in a full circle, and we're back to where we started.
But yes, we could sit here and spend the rest of our session, arguing the details. But let's trust that between us, we've got enough intelligence to find something suitable for the people of Providence and the trading company.
Well, what it will eventually come down to is, so the company is providing these units of soldiers, and the captain will ask that in addition to the four of yours, what if the city, because technically the four of you are just independent contractors. You are not, even though you're called the Heroes of Providence, you are not actually agents of Providence or employees
like our
of
Nick.
Providence.
Yeah, it's a nickname.
So the captain is saying,
as in like Nicole.
If Providence, if the city is interested in making this a joint venture rather than just a company outpost, the city needs to contribute something. So what would the city be prepared to contribute? It could be funds, it could be materials, it could be troops.
Yeah, I mean, what if the city contributed carpenters and the materials to build the outpost? We retain control of the outpost and lease it to the company.
I like that.
That seems good. That's where I thought we were going, yeah.
Okay. And that will become the agreement if Morzod votes in favour.
Wait, so none of the council members changed with the sort of shifting of that? No.
They still do not like the idea of forming a partnership with the Oceanic Trading Company.
If we're being their landlords, we're in control, though.
I mean, we have the upper hand. I mean, us personally, we have the upper hand. We
Yeah,
just
although
privatize the road for ourselves, so we
the
can
devil's
use it.
advocate, once the company has a foothold, the company is powerful enough to maintain that foothold through political pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the argument that they're making. Rumor is, though it's very hard to confirm, the Oceanic Trading Company, their fleet is larger than any national fleet. That if the Kingdom of Taras were to pick a war with the company, the kingdom would lose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would personally like us to have a partnership with the trading company. This sounds good to me, and all my years of experience with dealing with such things.
Well, it's all up to Morsod.
True.
Oh god.
Morzod is going to vote with Vidi because he trusts.
So it has been approved. I will say this is not exactly where I was expecting tonight's session to go, but
Sorry.
I love business talks.
You know, I always wondered, hearing stories about D&D, when they were like, and then the players did this and ended up owning a planet. Like, is that a thing that they actually role play with? Yeah, evidently it is.
We haven't tried to teleport to the moon yet, so it's always on the cards.
Made of avocados.
It's the biggest avocado seed of all.
One dream of the blue veil away.
Speaking of, Dagmar has been writing a vague brainstorm plan in the margin of her notes on how to procure avocado seeds from the bins of the restaurants in town that can afford avocados to start a side hustle for Orsi.
Yeah, a very slow-growing fruit.
Yeah,
I mean,
you need
seeds.
and not great in this climate either.
That's okay. When he does his floating tower, we will have like a I'm thinking
Greenhouse
the bubble, temperature controlled, but
I was going to say, you can pick the bubbles.
some sort of house of glass or something.
Yeah, we can get one started on the windowsill at the orphanage, see how it goes.
Anyway, business
At least it
numbers.
doesn't have to go through an emu first.
So it is decided. The expedition will be prepared. A section of troops that the composition of which you have chosen will be ready to march out in a day's time. So you have, we'll say you've got 2 sleeps until you march out. It's the end of this day, so you've basically got this evening and then the next full day.
Perfect. Plenty of time. If no one else has to do it, well, Orsi's going to waddle off and go buy some bottles.
Okay.
Oh my god.
How many glass bottles can I get?
Well,
Who sells glass bottles?
I mean, really, as many as you can carry.
I need a small, beautiful, intricate glass bottle.
If this was Pathfinder, my DM would have a scientific calculator in his hand right now and be telling you exactly how many fancy glass bottles.
Something an elf wants to drink out of.
Well, not only what he would carry, but what the town supports and the economy can provide.
So for that kind of thing, you'd be
system.
probably talking about little crystal vials.
Yes, crystal vials.
Yet there,
Every single one. Funkai with El goes in the River of Dreams.
there will be someone.
Find out.
There will be someone in Providence who produces these, so you will be able to buy them. They are not cheap. That'd be, I'd say, sort of a gold
$10.
a gold piece each.
Yeah, gold piece each. Perfect. Can I get 10?
You can.
I'll get 10.
Dags would like some health potions, please.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you have 1,000 gold from Ezud if you need to get health stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we looking at for healsies?
We're invoicing.
So I will say the Academy has essentially opened its stock to you. They would like, either you pay or it comes out of what Ezud has forwarded you in terms of the cost. But any type of potion, healing or mana you want is available to you to stock up at this point.
I've got 4 healing, 3 mana, and I think 1 greater.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've got.
And
Dags would like several of the healies. Where's my...
And over the past few months, Sabi's has restocked with some
sick.
new magic items. I'm just putting the updated list in chat.
I hadn't been taking healsy potions because I had the healsies myself, but I think probably I should put one in my pocket.
Ducting, rope of climbing. Oh, Skyblinder. Oh, she got a potion of greater healing. We should probably grab that.
The academy has that too, though, right?
Yeah, the academy has basically not quite unlimited, but you can get as many as you can. You can get as many as you can afford.
Stockpile every potion in this town.
I don't want to buy it because look at the price. But what the heck is the manual of gainful exercise?
The manual of gainful exercise.
That sounds like a +1 situation. Is it a tome?
If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, your strength score increases by 2 permanently, as does your maximum for that score.
It's 8K.
So this is the mechanic in D&D that lets you go over the maximum of your points, basically.
The manual then loses its magic, but regains it in a century.
Oh, so Ozzy could read it twice.
Yeah, I can. He's going to be a muscle wizard one day.
Oh yeah.
I would like to buy the dispelling stone. Sorry, wait, how much was that again? I've already forgotten.
5,000 gold pieces.
How many platinum is that?
500. Platinum.
You've given me 2 very different numbers. You know I can't do math.
1 platinum is 10 gold.
Yeah, so
so it's 500 platinum. Or 5,000 gold.
Well, never mind then. I can put my own dispel magic on a rock. Bits of elven kind, though. That's always nice.
What does that do? Just make you fancy?
Makes you quiet.
Sneaky.
Dagmar.
Pardon?
Nothing. No, nothing.
If you want elf boots to go with your dwarf belt.
I do not. Thank you.
They would give you advantage on dexterity checks.
And you walk silently on any surface.
Stealth checks that rely on moving silently.
I think Dagmar is pretty resigned to not moving silently.
I really enjoy that we've got a head-on rogue.
Yeah, loud. Cloak of Displacement is always really good too.
Dags is buying 3 potions of greater healing, or she's taking them from the academy stash, which will subtract 150. So they're worth 150 gold each.
Yep. So that's 450 that you've spent on greater healing potions.
Cool.
I think Orsi might take that Cloak of Displacement.
Okay.
Sorry, how many gold is 55 platinum worth?
550 gold.
550 gold. Just sorry, I'm really not good with numbers. Give me a second. Okay, yes, I would like to buy the Cloak of Displacement if you play.
Okay.
Is that on the academy's dime or on your personal dime?
I don't think the academy can afford it.
Okay. Well,
I literally just spent half the academy's money.
I was gonna say, could I grab 2 of the potions just to put in my back pocket if we're not spending the academy money on anything in particular otherwise?
Oh, we're not using the academy money for like magical items. You can use the rest of it to buy potions. Go for it.
Do it. Good
Yeah. That's what he's going for.
He's going to attune to that too.
So yeah, two potions of the greater healing for Morzord.
Is there any possibility for a superior healing potion, Dungeon Master?
Yes, all potions are available.
Superior would be a good choice.
I have to check the price.
Yeah,
very expensive. Cloak of Displacement, classic for a wizard.
Vidi's going to buy the Bracer of Flying Daggers.
It's very cool sounding.
So the guide I'm seeing, look, I'll say a superior is 1,000.
Yeah, so we can't afford that with the
Yeah.
Put some academy money towards it, or you could just use your personal money. Like, they're really good to have.
I'm tempted. So
Just
superior
have
was
in
the
your
one?
back pocket.
Superior.
All right. Oh well, I suppose I can afford to grab a superior one out of my own pocket, so I guess I'll do that. And then, well, how much academy money do we have? It was 450 that Dags used,
Yes, we have 550 left.
so 550 left. Are you guys okay with me grabbing a superior with the rest of that money, and
Go for it.
then yeah, okay.
Terracus, I have something for you.
So Morzod, that'll cost
So
450 of your
450
own.
450 out of
Yep.
my pocket. So,
For
Aussie
me?
will give him the Black Mask of Horomak. I don't need it anymore.
That seems fair. That is entirely fair.
For your shoulder.
Thank you. It will sit in a place of pride on the back.
Yeah, so tigers don't sneak up on you.
Yeah, exactly right. And scare off, indeed, various predators. This is really quite lovely. Thank you, Orsi. I feel like I need to thank you
really-
appropriately, and I'm going to use my wand of conducting, which I've just bought as well, to
Fucking damn
play a lovely song for Orsi.
Oh.
Let's see if we get the sad tuba.
Thanks, Windbreaker.
No, that's an 18. So we're all good. No sad tuba. On a 1, the
Unless
wand of
he's in-
conducting plays a sad tuba and crumbles to dust. It's great.
Aww. So what did it play? Some beautiful elven piece, I
Yeah,
think.
just something nice and
Yeah,
elven and orchestral.
Oh, fun. That's a fun little thing.
It only crumbles to dust if you've used all of its charges.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
Still.
Also, while everyone else is shopping, he's going to go waddle down to the Fey Garden, please.
300.
Okay.
For a couple more great.
Why is Aussie waddling everywhere? Is he Pregante?
Shit.
He's got lots of robes to pick up. It's winter. There's so many layers.
So he's fat rolling.
It's just, he's a penguin.
Do I need to attune to the bracer of flying daggers? That makes me sad.
What's he gonna unattune?
So, also you enter the Fey Garden, and it's the air around here is that slightly sort of heady quality, almost like it's a permanent state of spring here. The air is actually slightly warmer, and it does remind you of your trip to the Feywild.
Beautiful. I mean, yeah, I'm making a beeline for the sound of running water, please.
Okay. As you approach the stream, you see a cassowary drinking from it. And he looks up and says,
Yeah.
"Oh, hello. How you doing?"
Imagine seeing you. Wait, is this the same guy?
Yeah, it's all right. I'm the only talking cassowary I know of.
I didn't know if there was more. You've got me.
No, I'm one of a kind. Which reminds me, I've been meaning to ask you lot.
Yes.
Like you're adventurer type, like you go out into the wilds and so forth.
Correct.
I ain't heard of any creatures like me nearby. So,
As in specifically talking cassowaries or like talking animals?
Sorry, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm one of a kind. Okay, let me walk you back a bit. What happened?
Right.
I woke up in the Feywild, having just like fallen through this portal somewhere, and then Nessid Clathy found me.
Right.
Awakened me so I can talk and think clearer and so forth, which is great.
Cracks. Yeah.
But I don't know exactly where I came from before I landed in the Feywild, and I've just got this memory of before falling through.
No, he's got a missus.
I had some babies walking around following me,
Did they pay for life?
and I don't know what happened to them. You know, it must have been years, so they're probably all either dead or grown up, and they don't need me either way. But I'd kind of like to know what happened to them, if you know what I mean. So if you see any cassowaries on your journeys, can you just make a note of where and get back to me?
Absolutely, I can do that for you.
That'd be great.
Sure. I mean, while I've got you here, is this water safe to drink?
Oh, it's safe for me to drink?
Good enough. If you don't mind me, I'm just going to get a few samples of it.
All right.
So it's just going to fill up his 10 crystal cruets, his 10 crystal vials, his bottles.
Cool.
He's going to take a sip. How is it? Is it like fresh spring water? Fresh and clean?
It is the freshest, cleanest spring water you've ever had. Doesn't have any statistical benefits, but it is
No.
by far the best water, the best clean water you've ever experienced.
Orsi is thinking to himself, if we put some sort of portal in here and then another portal in the Citadel, we can have a dream spring water fountain. The elves are going to go crazy for that shit. This is gold mine.
No, it's a water
Incredible.
spring.
Oh, my mistake. Oh, Mosul.
This entire scene, I've been biting my tongue because I knew it'd be almost. When did you get here? But I just lost it.
We love our omnipotent.
I couldn't keep it buttoned down.
See, Morzod has off the chart stealth.
Yeah.
You never know he's behind you until he drops
until
truth
Oh.
Until
bomb.
he says something.
Actually, does anyone else sell spells? Hang on, let me just check all these spell books that I have lying around because I have so many.
Yes,
Detect thoughts, mirror image. No, okay, yeah, go on.
Well, the Academy and Subbies do sell spells. So basically, what I'll say is any spell... there is now enough material in town that any spell of level 3 or lower, you can get a scroll of.
Okay, I am looking for...
If it's above that, tell me what level the spell is, and then I'll do a roll to see whether it's in stock.
Available for... God damn it. I wanted to speak with animals so I could talk to any cassowaries, but I'm not a bard, a druid, or a ranger. Stupid.
I mean, we do have
The
a bard,
thing
though.
you know about.
He can't learn spells like a wizard can.
But he can use the scroll.
What level is it?
But would we waste it on a random cassowary?
I mean, we
I
do
don't want to
like
waste it on a random cassowary.
cassowary, though.
True.
What was his name?
Look, if this was Divinity Original Sin, just think of all the quests you've been missing out on by not being able to speak to animals.
It's a divination spell.
So, yes, here's the fun part. Does Orsi tell Vatericus that he would really like to be able to talk to cassowaries?
Absolutely. I saw him down at the spring. What was his name again? Bob, Rob? Trevor.
Love Trevor.
We're getting the Sons of Trevor side quest, and honestly,
I like animals. I just thought it'd be nice if we could find his family.
Well, I tell you what, let's do a seance tonight. And we'll see if we can contact any cassowary ghosts. If any of the kids have died in the intervening years. But
oh god, cassowaries are also stuck in the in-between.
if not,
I would not
then
want to be in the
afterwards,
in-between if it's full of cassowaries.
I'll be able to at least chat to any other cassowaries we find.
Okay.
Summoning a cassowary ghost would be so scary.
I don't know, maybe to be chill, maybe to be a chill ghost.
As long as we summon the right one, we'll be fine. Okay, let's do that. We can do that later.
Perfect.
Anyway, we'll see it's done now.
All right.
I'm ready to go kill some. We still got a little bit of time. We got plenty of time to kill some Chaos Talents.
Yes, I am set.
Yeah, Mozo didn't have anything that he was doing.
Dags was just waxing and touching up not herself, the Titan.
Although
Opposite waxing.
I have idiot questions. Now that I'm a pally, do I do different armor? What do?
You can wear heavy plate if you want.
can get plate. You can get a super impressive.
Like basically what Astrapian was wearing. Like he had the heaviest plate you can get on. My AC was 21 with a shield.
Mhm.
So I've currently got adamantine chainmail, which I think is heavy armor already.
It is, but plate gives you more AC. If that's what you're after.
GM, is that something that Morzod could have tracked down while we were in downtime?
Definitely, you had plenty of time to put it in order and have a good suit of plate mail
Okay. All right.
tailor-made for you.
I will add that then. I absolutely look like an American Gridiron player. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yes.
I don't know culturally how that would happen, but like just the pants, right?
We'll say it's orc styling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, yeah, if we're talking Blood Bowl, it absolutely is. So inventory, manage inventory, plate. The armor's weird in D&D Beyond, I think.
No, you just add it to your inventory and then equip it.
Yeah.
So inventory, manage inventory or add item or whatever it says.
Yeah, manage inventory. So
and then search for your plate.
Yeah, just search plate in the search function and heavy plate or whatever.
All right, let's see how hard I derp.
Hey, Zindy, I just
Search
noticed something.
Plate. What?
You haven't leveled up.
What?
No.
Oh.
What level are you?
I pressed the buttons, but I guess I didn't press the OK
Cool.
button.
That's okay.
I will go and
do it before
that.
next week, otherwise Mercy's Pass might be more of a challenge than it needs to be.
Yeah. So
Plate's what you want if you don't want if it's not magical.
Yeah. Okay, so just plate. Gonna show up with grandmother's tea set plate. There it is. Add to equipment. Let me go and there it is. I'm gonna wear that and I'm gonna take the chainmail off.
Perfect.
Okay,
And your AC
cool.
should jump.
I'm up to 20. Yo,
Cool.
that's nice.
Yeah.
And
Besides kick it with a shield, you'll go up even higher.
And you could probably sell that adamantine chain, basically your space armor, for probably a pretty penny.
Yeah, it's probably pretty fancy. Although Mozart might be kind of attached to it.
You could put it on a mannequin next to the statue of the rock.
Yeah, or we could put it on the statue of the rock.
Or is his collecting crap to put in his tower? You can shove it on there.
Yeah.
Look,
I won't sell it. I'll just sort of keep it at the orphanage.
Right. Well, I've got nothing else to do. We're all ready. Got our potions. Magic. Let's go.
Okay.
Yes.
We've had a rest.
On our way out, I'll dump 100 gold into the orphanage rent box.
Cool.
And that will be the end of that.
So I should be
Mercy's
13th
Pass.
level?
Yeah. Yes.
So the night
Right,
before...
so nothing actually happened. That's why I didn't level up, because there were no numbers that I needed to tweak or anything. I'm just...
Oh, yeah. Magic and... health and stuff goes up.
Yeah.
So the night before you go out, Connie will basically just check in with all of you and sign you for be careful, don't die.
We haven't yet.
We will do our best. The plan is to live forever. So far, so good.
Well, other than Morzord's new goal of becoming a lich, apparently, we're all fine.
It's a joke.
You can be a lich if you want. I'll support you.
We've got the crown.
Play liches.
There are benevolent liches in elven culture. There is. They exist. They're real.
Oh, Mozart, please become a lich.
Connie signs, what's a lich?
Like an undead wizard. They put their souls somewhere else. And when you kill them, they keep coming back to life.
That's pretty weird.
She signs, that sounds really evil.
All of them are evil. I mean, is a sword evil? True. Well, I mean, some swords can be evil. That was bad.
Yeah, that one in Mercer's Pass was definitely evil.
Specifically, we have found evil swords. It's a grey area. It's a grey area. There's benevolent liches. It's fine. Morzord would be one.
I mean, that's true. If I was being a lich, it's not like I'd be doing nasty things.
You'd have such a snatched little waist as well.
The potion you have to, make to become a lich is...
Oh,
some of the ingredients.
That's the evil bit.
Some of the ingredients are a little rough.
Connie,
some of them are a little rough.
Connie
well, that's
points
not so good.
accusingly at Morzod and then signs, and I assume Vitericus will be translating. Don't you dare become evil, mister. I'd hate to have to smite you.
I would hate to be smitten for being evil, so that's good. We'll go with the not smiting.
Oh my god, if I'd accepted the devil, would I have been, kicked out of the orphanage? I totally would.
I mean...
You might have got smoked, yeah.
We would have had words.
Smoked.
We would have had words with you, yes.
It's not like Dagmar would have told you.
I think we probably would have guessed when you start Eldritch blasting things, Dagmar. someone who doesn't use magic starting to use magic suddenly, and it's like evil green color.
Also, you're living.
Oh my god, I sneezed.
You're living in the same property as two gods and an avatar of one.
I could trick him. No, I couldn't. It's fine. Dagmar didn't take any evil.
No. We're sticking with not evil.
We're happy at neutral.
Capitalist, yes. Evil, no.
Yeah, that's right. Leaning slightly capitalist at this point, but
Where's that on the alignment matrix?
Most evil.
Okay. So you all bed down for your last night before heading out.
Mm-hmm.
Vatericus.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Stop.
Leave him alone.
You
We need to get you an anti-god juice.
open your eyes and you're in a place you've only been there once before.
And your pants were full of bugs.
It is the Nexus of Ways, the in-between.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine.
The River of Dreams flows gently around you. You can just hear the faint whispers and voices coming from it. And on this island, with a sky, well, a ceiling of stars, it appears to be. And there, relaxed back in a hammock, you see the familiar sight of Bob, the Fisher of Dreams.
Smile and say, well, you took your time.
And he looks over at you and says,
Savage.
"Oh, g'day, mate. Is this our second or third time?"
Only the second. That's exciting.
It's
Yeah, you haven't been to Stavromula Beta yet.
It's complicated, you see, where I'm currently speaking to you on our first encounter also, and also speaking to you on our third encounter. So sometimes I get a bit confused.
Time is weird here. I have understood that before, and probably even more so for someone who lives here.
Actually, if this is the second time, that means your world hasn't been destroyed yet, right?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that is correct.
I don't read too much into that. All worlds die, you know. So.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, Agaro.
So, what you doing here?
I had some questions for you, and I'm glad the river has decided to let me ask them.
Oh, very well. Okay, shoot.
They're all about, and I will point to where I know the gods came from, like effectively the barred door to the celestial plane. They're all about that.
He says, "Ah, that. It's a bit of a tricky subject. What did you want to know?"
Well, I had, can we talk to the thing that's there? The one that all the gods ran from.
Are you asking to?
I would like to.
He says, "Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know everything. So, but if the river brought you here, then the river thinks I can do something. So,
Okay.
I'll do what I do." He climbs out of his hammock, picks up his fishing pole, walks over to the river, and again, you see the string. There's no hook on it. It's just a string. He casts it into the river. And there's a pause, and he says, normally something bites when I do this. I'll hang about. And he looks up, and as you look up, you see descending from the ceiling above you a line with a hook on it. And he says,
Interesting.
"Well, that's never happened before."
Mark that one off the bingo card.
With a hook. You don't
Pulls
normally use a hook.
he pulls his pole out and pulls the string, and it's all as it was. Nothing changes. There's still this hook, and this hook is about 1 meter wide. It's like you would be a worm compared to this hook.
Oh my god.
And he says,
Hate that.
I don't know what to tell you, my friend, but I think that's for you.
Seems likely, right?
Look, hang about. If you're going to get on that, I think I realized why I have this. And he disappears into his little, log cabin, comes out with something draped over his arm and drops it on the ground. It is a diving suit, a classic, we're talking BioShock aesthetic, big metal helmet
pressurized
and
bubble.
everything. And
Oh,
he
the
says,
lads had that when they were looking through the wrecks over in Pro. Anyway, sorry,
he
continue.
says, put this on.
Okay. I put it on.
Okay.
I doff the armor. Nope,
Um,
don it. I don't doff it.
No,
Doffing it would be
Dolphin is
taking
taking it off.
You put it on, and there's a tube coming out of it. It says, "All right, so this is going to be your, this is going to basically be your attachment to reality, for what it's worth."
Great.
So, I have no idea what you're going to face up there, but if you become nervous, just give it a tug, and I'll pull you back out.
Me? Nervous? Psh, never. And I'm going to casually sit on the hook.
Okay. And as soon as you do, the hook starts rising up like an elevator.
Ascending.
And
Perfect.
Bob's holding on to the tether, which is also like a reality tube. And he's sort of letting it spool up as you descend, as you get closer and closer to this roof of stars. You, as soon as it touches your head, you lose consciousness. And the next thing you know, you are in this vast, absolutely black void. Or at least it's black in the direction that you're facing. There is no gravity. You are free floating. What do? You do not see, hear anything.
Can I spin?
Okay,
Is there
you
scope to rotate?
try to sort of move your body around, and you're able to basically do a little shuffle to get a bit of a spin. And you see that whereas one side of the sky is a completely blank void of nothingness, the other side practically blinds you as you come face to face with a white so white that it makes snow look black.
Cool. I will attempt to spin up my ring of thaumaturgy in the hopes that magic will work here. And with my voice booming up to 3 times as loud as normal, say, hello there.
The ring does not work, but as soon as you speak, this whiteness seems to completely envelop you. And you feel a pressure, like something pushing in on the diving suit around you. You actually, the helmet starts, you just feel it start to buckle slightly, and you're very nervous for a moment, but it seems to hold. And
now, is that any way to treat a guest?
And as you hover in this expanse of whiteness, you start to feel yourself slowly falling. It's sort of like a feather fall effect. And you come and your feet land on solid ground, and the sky is starting to lose some of its brightness. Like they're starting to bring the exposure down a bit. And you see that you are standing on this enormous white surface with these huge, sort of like white marble heels stretching off into the distance.
Are there racks with like katanas on them?
No racks of guns, I don't think.
No.
Okay.
We're not matrixing at this point.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, I assume the pressure is sort of let up a little bit as well
A bit, yeah.
at this stage. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Now, as I understand it, you've been here for a while, and there's not a whole lot else here besides you.
You hear, you feel, you experience a voice. You're not sure what it says because it is so loud and overpowering that you think if you weren't wearing this diving suit, you would have just been vaporized by the sheer voice of this thing.
Inside voice, please.
No,
Yeah.
I'm immortal, so mortal, not immortal. So inside voices.
Give me a
please.
perception check, please.
Ooh, 21.
21. As you look around this terrain, trying to get a sense of where you are and what's happening, you start to realize that the mountains, the hills around you, and the valleys among them, you are seeing these wrinkles, these lines going through them. And as you then start to make out something of the sky, you realize and you orientate yourself, and you've discovered what you're standing on. This landscape is a palm, as in a person's hand. And as you look up, you can see this white, marble-like figure, sort of generic, like a mannequin in a way, but stretching so far away that it curves away from you, and it sort of so that the head is almost invisible from where you are. It is so far away, and you think you are basically standing on a person as large as or larger than a planet. And you then see, you blink, and then suddenly there are 3 of these things around you, but slightly smaller. And then in front of them, there are a dozen more, a bit smaller. And this keeps on happening.
Imagery is so cool.
These
Holy
things
fuck.
just start appearing and appearing, hundreds, thousands, until eventually they scale down to the point where you have a circle of about 2,000 roughly humanoid creatures. They all have slightly different features around them, but they all also have this kind of smooth, relatively undefined. There's enough that you can now look at them and start to think some might be a bit more feminine, some might be a bit more masculine, some might be a bit more dragonborn-ish or tiefling-ish, but they're still fairly generic. And
This is what they said would happen, that you split yourself down and down and down. Interesting.
And 1,000 voices, which is still loud, but they are at least now 1,000 people of your size, say, "Where have you come from?"
Elsewhere.
"Why do you come here?"
I'm here to cut a deal.
"Where have you come from?"
Elsewhere.
"Why have you come here?"
Do you need to consume the gods that escaped you?
"Where have you come from?"
Because if you want the ones that you missed, I can help.
Oh my god.
"Why have you come here?"
Come to make a bargain.
Yeah, basically. I'm unsure how much clearer I could possibly be here. We have an opportunity to help each other. I don't imagine you're terribly concerned with mortals. We would have to be dust relative to your appetite. But full-fledged gods. Is the question still on a loop?
3 of these individuals in 1,000 step forward, and they speak to each other rather than to you. We're getting into the Temple of the Prophets situation. They're saying, it thinks it is equal to us. It thinks it can communicate in a matter in a manner that favors it. It thinks it wishes to. It thinks it can offer us something. And then 1,000 voices say, "Where have you come from?"
All right, this is getting a little recursive, and I'm unsure how productive this conversation will be. I understand that I'm not anywhere near your equal. You could destroy me quite comfortably, but near as I can tell, you have been here for a while. Is that correct?
And at this point, the voice of the giant progenitor of all these things, slightly softer now that it has split some of itself off into these smaller things, so it doesn't quite destroy you as it might have. But it says, "Where have you come from?"
All right, this has been fun. Goodbye, and I will tug on the reality tube.
And you immediately feel yourself falling away, and as you do, all of the individual figures around you just like rubber band back into the giant, and you then see these enormous hands reaching out to grab you, just as you black out and wake up next to the next to Bob in the Nexus. And he says, "Huh, how'd it go?"
I think I have an opening.
Is that a good thing?
I think so. I think the next bit depends on you, actually, Bob.
All right, what do you want?
Well, we just saw that we can go to where that god-eating creature is, which is fine. Did you have any control over that, by the way, or is it just sort of biding its time there now?
Oh, no. I closed the way so it can't get through. And look, to be clear, I did not open that. Okay. Whatever you went through, that was not my doing.
Wonderful. Follow-up question then. When a god goes through the Nexus here, is there a way to stop them being stopped at the River of Dreams?
He says, that ain't up to me, it's up to the river.
River, can you stop a god from experiencing you when they pass?
And Bob...
The ocean says yes.
watches the water flow, turns back to you and says, "I think the river... If the river wanted you to see something, I think you've seen it. I'm not sure whether it's the answer you're looking for, but..."
An answer of a type. I will take it. Thank you, Bob. This has been most enlightening. And I'm glad I don't have to talk to the other guy.
And Bob says, "Yeah, look, word of advice. I'm not sure exactly what you're seeking to achieve down in that little planet of yours. But I don't think anything can be worth trying to make a deal with that."
Thank you. Most helpful.
All right. Have fun till I see you again.
Yes, at the end of the world, apparently.
No, not quite. Close, not quite.
Good. Excellent. Well, I look forward to that meeting as well.
And the next thing you know, you wake, and it is the morning.
Wait, now Viddy's immortal until he meets Bob again.
He did not say which world, the end of which world, and also what does soon mean to a being which has very little understanding of the passing of time.
Point.
All bad all the time. Cool. Well, Vitericus will wake up, I think, smirking more than anything else.
Doesn't he always wake up smirking?
It's true, but like a particularly interesting, particularly deep smirk
extra smirk.
Yeah.
Oh, good dream, Vitericus.
I spoke to Bob again.
Wait, really?
Awesome.
Wait.
How is he?
River of Dreams Bob, or the cassowary? His name was Trevor. Never mind.
Yes. So River
Are
of Dreams, Bob.
we in the kitchen, or is everyone in Vitericus's room for
I
some
assume we're
reason?
in the kitchen and he's come down. And now there's chainmail armor on the Vaterica statue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Is that your old armor?
Fancied.
Morgoth?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't want to get rid of it. It's awful nice.
That's fair.
And
Lovely.
there's sentimental value. And I
Well,
love the
that's,
hexagons.
Put a spot
Yeah.
for it in the tower.
Get Dasha to shape the statue a little bit, make it naked so you can put so the armor sits better.
I mean, it's Morzord-sized armor on a Vaterica-sized statue. It's never going to fit
That's
better
true.
their body.
That's fine. That's true.
It looks like a very stylish dress.
Like a moo-moo, yes.
What colour is it though? Because like it sort of looks yellow, but it sort of looks blue.
I thought it was black.
Anyway, I'll make some of
Snake
that.
scales.
I'll make
Anyway,
some of that horrible brew
Bob-
that you drink, Biddy.
Oh,
Here you
Yes,
go.
coffee. Yeah. Let me make some coffee. Oh, thank you. That's
Love
very
coffee.
thoughtful of you.
Anyway, Bob,
Yes. I tried to cut a deal with the God Eater.
I'm sorry, what?
You fucking what?
So,
Tried to cut a deal with the God Eater.
how did that go?
I'm sorry.
Mozart just shakes his head and continues flipping pancakes.
You, a mortal on this plane, especially as a human, nonetheless, went to something that devours entire planes of existence, and you tried to do some sort of puny little mortal deal with something that
And it
eats
didn't.
gods.
And it didn't bite you in half, which most things usually do.
Yeah, surprisingly, still alive. So I call that a win.
Are you insane?
Jury's out.
What
Is
do
this an
you have to
Endergon
offer?
thing?
What do you have to offer to
You
a
know
god
exactly
eater?
who I have to offer.
And then what?
And then I assume she and I will be destroyed on the celestial plane.
I don't love that.
Your plan
Right.
is stupid. So you're just gonna die for no good reason.
Oh no, I will rid the world of her. And it will be safer.
There's plenty. We know that gods can be killed. Plenty of other
Why
ways to
not?
kill a god other than feeding it to
true.
a celestial divine devourer.
I mean, I was thinking I could maybe sneak some of the others in there too, but that's, didn't want to cut a deal, so here we are.
I don't think we're up to martyring ourselves to get rid of the annoying goth god at this point.
Yeah.
There's beings
we-
on this plane of existence that won't deal deals with mortals, and you think that thing would?
Thought it was worth a shot.
You could have been killed in a celestial plane.
I mean, to be
Technically,
fair,
I could be killed here.
Biddy does that a lot, and so far, so good.
If you were
That's
killed
true.
here, at least we'd have a body.
That's true. I've got a diamond, so there's that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
but
can
there's
bring you back
surely-
if you're here.
Surely there's enough hair caked to my pillow between all the bear fat for you to be able to pull something
If
out
you
from there.
die on the
That is
celestial plane,
disgusting.
your ghost
Yeah, I
is
should
going
really
to
wash
be
that hay.
stuck.
That's,
Okay, seriously, if you died there, your spirit would have been trapped there. There would have been no way for it to bring you back from anything. How does
Yeah,
a soul
maybe.
come back to a body that it can't reach?
Maybe.
At this point, Desmina, who has been listening at the door, says, your soul would be absorbed into the
Mhm.
singularity, as some of us call it.
Singularity. Horrible creature.
Bad
Maybe.
sounding.
You're in trouble, Vatericus.
I don't know,
And-
is Unity
Monkey
such a
is
bad thing?
angry.
And she says, I only just heard the last bit of what you were talking about, but please tell me you told it nothing about where we are.
Oh. Unless a postcard fell out of my pocket, I think we're okay.
She
This is
says,
not a time to be sassy, Viddy.
You not
She's-
sass gods after you've just tried to offer some up
I'm
as
not
like
stupid.
dinner. Are you sure?
Hmm.
Desmina says, that thing, although the way here is closed, I still worry that it might find a way around that door one day, if it
Oh,
knows
yeah.
where to go.
100%. It doesn't have to stay there for terribly long.
And I will beg you, have nothing to do with it.
It does seem like quite a big risk.
All right.
I'm guessing it said no, right? Like,
Didn't say terribly much of anything. It's a weird one.
And
I
she,
mean, if we talk to
God,
ants,
that's a weird
the
one.
ants you know, it's seriously, we're like ants to that thing.
And she adds, and I think I know of which of my kin you're hoping to offer to it.
Or you would be surprised, but go on.
And she says, understand that when we agreed to split ourselves into the beings that we are now, we also agreed that we would not interfere in each other's dealings. But I do fear that some of us may not be taking that as seriously as they should. If you can present me with evidence that one of my kin is actively working against life as we know it, or against one of us, or the natural flow of things, then I might be persuaded to help you.
I died.
She did kill
Yeah,
Mozart.
she killed Mozart.
She says,
Straight up killed him at a party.
Pointed a finger at him.
and that is truly horrible, and I'm so glad it did not stick, but it is also something that any one of you could do to anyone.
Does inspiring a death cult count?
And
Yeah,
again,
she totally has one of those.
and she says, so many mortals have done worse.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do tend to. I mean, religion, right?
Oh, yeah. No. She is working well within her bounds, I'm sure, at this stage.
And she will say, has she given you any reason to fear for Dasha Undrake?
Constantly.
And she says, in that case, you have my attention.
Basically, her plan is to just keep killing us until she gets the information she wants, which is exactly where, Dasha is living.
And she says, and it'd grieve me enough were any of you to die at her hand. But if she were to have her way with Dasha, I dare not imagine what that would look like. So, if you, at any point, feel you have no choice but to face my sister in combat, I will help.
Dagmar is going to
Horrifying.
thank her for that.
Terrifying omen, if we are to do that.
Noted.
And she says, and please do not include Connie in this.
Of course not.
No,
Yeah,
we're
no.
planning on it.
And she says, I think if she were to find out that Dasha is threatened, and she could take things into her own hands, and I do not think she might survive, she might even be victorious, but she would not be Connie afterwards.
Correct. Reach out. Make ready. See who else you can rope in. There's going to be at least a few more of you who are sick of her shit.
She says, well, I can think of one at least, but he is sleeping at the moment.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Gemdanen kind of helped us out the first time. Right?
She says, was that Gimdanen or merely his avatar?
Gemdanen's power through his avatar.
She says, Connie has my power, and she very much acts on her own will.
So that's
Yes,
a no
yes.
from
You could
Gemdanen's going
Get
to.
Nessed off her island, or
She says,
talk to
We
him.
haven't asked
She says-
Ganon. We have not spoken to him about this.
"You can ask. I could try to speak to him, but he and I... He's never really paid much attention to me."
He doesn't really pay much attention to anything, if I'm honest.
That's fair.
I've already had one father figure who doesn't pay enough attention to me. Now look, I don't want to get into this right now.
Mozart
says-
just kind of reaches over and backpats.
He's just drinking his coffee.
There.
And she says, "So, in the meantime, I understand you're going to Mercer's Pass?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gunnis, if you happen to know of any portals that happen to lead to any specific sort of lakes full of blood that we could perhaps seal, it'd be great.
She says, "I'm not aware of anything like that. I have some theories, but they are just little more than idle speculation. The only advice I can give is that if you do find the source of the corruption there, you must destroy it utterly and be sure that it is gone. It will
Or
not
maybe
be enough
like-
to bury it or to hide it away."
Right. So don't push big rock over portal.
Assuming it is a portal, could be anything.
It might just be nasty there.
Well, I mean, I assume his bones will be part of the issue as well, right?
Oh, definitely, it's going to be some sort of like rib cage lodged in our plane of existence.
Oh, no. His bones over at Titan's Rest. We'll have to deal with them at some point, too.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean,
As
did
you-
hear about all that seismic activity.
As you say that, she suddenly, Desmina's face changes as though she's just had a horrible thought. And she says,
You think Engadon is trying to raise his undead skeleton?
"Let me show you something. It might be a bit disorientating." And she reaches out, and you all suddenly find yourself experiencing a memory. And it is disorientating because you are suddenly about 2 miles tall. You are standing in the cataclysm. 783 years ago, the world is being rent asunder. The wind is howling, the ground is shaking beneath your feet as you realize that you are Desmina, the god. You are not an aspect of her. You are not her persona. You're not her power. You are not her titan. You are all three in one. And you are not alone. All the other gods are here. And you can see these massive, titanic beings in these forming a circle around another. This hideous, maddening mass of flesh, tentacles with a vaguely humanoid form, but it is a gross parody of life that you see, and you realize that you are looking at Guldag, and
We all throw up.
together, all of the gods have decided it is time to do what needs to be done. They channel their power together, and with a single blast that comes from Desmina, the conduit for all the other gods, this beam of pure radiant force strikes the head of this creature and blasts part of it away. It collapses into the ocean, and the body drifts down, and as you see it go down, you see that part of its head has been completely removed. And you then return to the kitchen in Common Ground. And Desmina says, the body fell to the bottom of the ocean, and Fainothwin burned the flesh away, but the bones remained. It rose to the surface as Titan's Rest. We did not account for the part of the head that was blown away. We hoped it had been destroyed, but getting my bearings, it is possible it was blasted into the furrow that became Mercer's Pass.
Okay.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Lord dump.
Like that. Don't like that.
Thank you very
Gotta
much
deal with God brain.
for watching. We will be back next week as our heroes, having now got an idea of what they're seeking to deal with. We'll march into Mercer's Pass and try to end this particular thorn in their side, basically conclude a quest that they began probably about session 5, session 6 you went through Mercer's Pass? Something like
We
that?
need a bigger boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
session 6.
All
We're
right.
gonna need a bigger boat.
We'll be back next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.